Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk radio.
Oh, it smells of men. I've said this before, but they really, those Gould brothers have a very powerful scent. I'm sure if we were to check the corners, they'd be damp. Iain Lee, Talk Radio, your call straight to air after midnight, but more importantly, what have you bought and only ever used once? Bishy bashy boshy, dear listener. Just setting up the studio to my own personal taste. If you want to know what the show looks like, oh, there we go. Look, we'll move it around in a bit. We are live, dear listener, on Periscope. That's what they call it, isn't it? That's what they call it. You can watch us if you want. I don't know why you'd want to. As it's going to be quite a one-sided conversation, because you won't hear the phone calls on the Periscope, but... Hi.
The other thing is, it's not like the old show where we play records and talk about the really juicy stuff.
You talk, I'm going to move this around a little bit.
Now, all the juicy stuff is on air. You know, we use it all on you, so there's no inside track really, is there? But, you know, if you like it, then that's fine.
I don't suppose they particularly want to see you, but it'll be...
Oh.
Now, am I in that shot? There we go, a little bit there.
There we go.
I don't know how to make it point
Why
down.
don't you do it that way, so it gets both of us? Well, I'll do it, tell you what, because you're more important.
But I don't know how to make it point down.
Well, let me have a waggle.
You do that. Evening, dear listener. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. Good evening, Id.
Good evening.
Everybody has lost something today. Everybody's got something to hide, except for me and my monkey. Johnny Gould has lost a beard. Id has lost his glasses. You're wearing the contacts.
I was going to say, you're making it sound like I've actually physically lost my glasses and can't see anything I'm doing tonight.
I don't like contact lenses. They're like Wonder Bras. They're misleading. It won't fit there. It won't fit there because it's a tripod. It has to take up a certain amount of space. Put it back where it was. They're like Wonder Bras, Id. They are misleading. If I were to meet you in a bar, I'd think you had good vision. We get home, and you go, I'm just going to pop these out. And then suddenly, you're walking around like Al Pacino in The Scent of a Woman.
That's probably a pretty accurate description.
Thank you very much indeed. The way the show works, and that's one of the phone-ins tonight, is what have you lost? What have you lost? 0844 499 1000. We call you back, so don't even worry about that. Busy show tonight. I'm a little bit hyper. The meds that I'm on, they made me very, very sleepy. I'm on these new pills, Catherine. Mirtazapine, right. Ed needs to turn your microphone on. You need to turn the microphone on, you plum. Come on. Chop, boy.
I've just thought who Ed looks like.
Oh, are you going to say Harold Bishop? Because that's what you said about Johnny Gould.
No, it's another...
Do you have to make it point down? He
looks like a young Alf.
You flaming galah!
Yeah.
So if they were to do a Home and Away the early years, they'd get this fella.
Yeah.
Same accent.
Well...
So I'm on this mirtazapine, right? As well as my citalopram. And I've been on it for just under a week. And the first thing it does is it makes you sleep. Like nobody's business. Slept for 12 hours the first night. I'm sleeping in the day. I am, what's the word I can use? Zombified. Okay, I'm like a zombie in the day. But then today, au contraire, milady. I was up and at 'em. It was insania. It was like
buzzing.
I was buzzing. I got loads of stuff done this morning. I'm sat at home going, I couldn't read. I couldn't play a computer game. I had to take the dog for a walk.
What was that first noise you did? You sat at home going, oh.
Oh, I was buzzing. It was like I was coming up on a pill or something. It was horrible. It was good, but it was horrible because I knew it wouldn't last. And I nearly went for a Burton when we went out for our Chinese meal and I said, Kath, I think I'm going to puke up in the streets. It was like the 90s. I was reliving the 90s. I didn't puke up in the street, guys. That didn't happen. But I feel a little bit, my eyes are a bit bulgy. My head feels like it's made of aero. It could be a tough show tonight. Is that aircon actually on?
It's on. I can feel it blowing on me.
I'm not feeling cool, man. What have we got tonight? So, what have you lost? Things you've bought and only used once. 08444991000. Coming up after midnight, we'll have Johnny Eccles, the lead guitarist from the rock group Love. We'll play some of them a little bit later on. We will play... I've got some messages left on the answer phone. You know I gave out a phone number the other week. There's loads of messages on there. Now, come closer, dear listener. Let me let you into a little secret. Initially, I posted the phone number anonymously in various places. I posted it in Gumtree, Craigslist, and I set up a Twitter account with it, hoping to ensnare some people. I think those are the phone calls we've got tonight, the people that didn't know it was me. And then as we progress, we'll
develop into what it is.
It will develop into what it is. And also, Kyle.
Evening.
Were you listening to Howard Hughes last night?
No, I didn't listen to Howard Hughes last night.
Oh, it was a good
Mate, we all know, guys. Let's just establish the rules here. The first hour of my show on a Monday is talking. We're the water cooler. We are stood by. We're obviously not the water cooler. The studio. The show is the water cooler, and we are gathered around the show, water cooler, discussing last night's television brackets Howard Hughes' radio show Beyond the Paranormal.
Thing is, I started listening to it and I kept falling asleep. So I did
Mate.
I heard Princess start talking about how she...
Princess Yolanda.
Yeah. Or
Yolanda.
Or Yoshini, or whatever her name was.
So, but she wasn't actually a princess. Her name was Princess Yoshini.
That's good though. That's going to get you good tables.
Isn't that an album by Mercury Rev? Princess Yoshini. What I heard last night was a lot of bullshine, and well done to everybody who played along with the hashtag bullshine on Twitter. But Kyle, something happened that I wish had happened to Julia Hartley-Brewer. Did you hear it, Ed?
No, I saw it on Twitter, but I missed the show.
I woke up just in time for it.
I wished it had happened to Julia Hartley-Brewer, not to the delightful Howard Hughes. Someone, what's the word they use these days? Not doing a Beatle. They punked him. They punked him, Kyle. There was a punk prank call to Howard Hughes, and we've pulled it off. We pulled Howard Hughes off.
Was it you that rang him?
No. I don't do that anymore. The last time I did that was to Dwayne Chambers on 5 Live, and I got the sack from. Let me go through this again. I got the sack from Six Music. I got the sack from The One Show. I got the boot from Watchdog, and apparently I was about to be offered a show on Radio 2, and then that was cancelled. So I don't do prank calls anymore, guys.
Oh, so you didn't have any hand in it then?
No hand in it whatsoever. There was no hand in it whatsoever, no. Anyway, Carl, so you didn't listen to Howard Hughes last night, which is disappointing. But you've called in for something, Kyle. What is it? What's it going to be, buddy?
I called in for two things, really. One was I was listening to Kath's show yesterday, which was excellent.
Thank you.
Kath.
Thanks very much.
Well, technically, you say Kath's show.
Yep.
It's a best of.
Yeah.
It's a best of.
I'm like a magpie. I nick all the best bits of other people's shows. And some other bits just to make up the time.
I'm just putting headphones by the phone, so maybe people on Periscope can hear.
I don't think that's... Oh, it might just work.
It will work. Can you hear, guys, on Periscope? Can you hear? Say something, Kyle.
Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear that, Periscopers? Yes, there you go. You see, it worked.
That's good, isn't it?
It worked. You see what we've done there? It's like the old crystal radio sets. So, Kyle, let's get to the point, Kyle. Let's get to the point. Come on, Kyle.
Right. So I was listening to Kath's show, and then after that...
Technically, I'm going to stop you there. What's the name of the show, Catherine, that you do on a... What day is it? I don't know what day it is.
Well, it's a Sunday, isn't it?
Right. So what's the name
3 till
of it?
5. It's 7 Days of Talk Radio with me, Catherine Boyle.
No. What's the name of it?
7 Days of Talk Radio with me, Catherine Boyle.
7 Days of Talk Radio. You can tell your kids it's with you, Catherine Boyle. We know the thing. It's a best of. It's a best of comp that anybody could do, Carl. So you were listening to the best of comp, yes?
Well, it was very good.
Thanks.
But after Catherine had finished, I left the wireless set on, and I heard some DIY bloke, and he called Martin.
Yeah.
No! He's the fella from Homes Under the Hammer!
Yeah, I heard that.
You can't diss him. He's genuinely brilliant. I got excited because I walked past him in the street
He
once.
put a window in, didn't he?
Apparently so, yes. Yes, he did.
I wasn't. Oh, why's your voice gone like that? I wasn't dissing him.
You're a little bit, Carl.
No, not at all, because I enjoyed it. I listened for the 2 hours, and then I was thinking, why don't you do that on your show and make it even more entertaining? And maybe, I don't know, do cookery or painting, something like that.
So, are you saying the show is lacking a certain something? Because I know what we can do to make this show better instantly.
You're going to cut me off.
No. Oh, contraire, Kyle. I'm going to show you how a phone call should go. Kyle, say hello to Alan Caddick.
Hello,
Good
Alan.
evening.
Hello, Alan.
How are you?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Hello, mate. Whereabouts in the country are you from?
I'm in London at the minute.
Well, whereabouts in London are you?
I'm not telling you that. You might come and kill me.
No, I'm in the West Midlands.
You see, I know the West Midlands, Stoke and all that. Up Hanley Duck.
Guys, can I interrupt for 1 second? I've got to do a little bit of business. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just stay there. Just stay there. Let me just pay the rent. Hang on.
God, that's a blast from the past. That's a blast from the past, Ian. Excuse me! Excuse me! Excuse me! Excuse me!
Are you ever going to finish?
Hello, Vinny.
Are you ever going to finish?
Why'd you ask, Vinny?
Just shut it, pal.
No, Vinny's alright, Vinny
What are
is.
you beefing on about?
No, Vinny, this is a heart back to the old days.
Are you real?
Yes, I am.
Who's that?
It's Alan.
Who's that?
Alan Caddick.
Yeah, I know it is now.
I used to call in on one of his old stations.
Please don't go.
No, it wasn't one of his... what station would you have in mind? Was it when he was on a commercial station, or did he work for a corporation?
Who the hell is Ginger Baker?
Never heard of him.
Have I won?
It depends on what the prize is.
No, I totally disagree with Sex of the Robot.
What?
Yes.
It's cardboard, isn't it?
Oonga, 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 shanga, oonga, oonga, oonga.
Never heard of that one.
Did we get a word in Edgware here?
Well, it depends on what the topic is.
Are you real?
Yes, I am.
Who the hell is Ginger Baker?
I've heard of Matt Baker.
What was that?
He presents the One Show.
Who, you?
No, Matt Baker. He's related to Tom Baker, who played the Fourth Doctor in Doctor Who.
Flipping it. Oh, God.
What's wrong with Doctor Who?
A guzzler.
No, you're thinking of Sylvester McCoy.
Just shut it, pal.
No, you told me to shut it.
Who the hell is Ginger Baker?
I told you, he's related to Matt Baker.
Did we get a word in Edgware here?
I'm trying to explain something and you're having a go at me.
Pimpon? Pimpon, pimpon?
What's that?
Who's that?
Who's that?
Oh, God.
What do you make about talk radio?
Evening, dear listener. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. If you've never heard the show before and you've just heard the first 15 minutes, that's kind of as good as it gets. Really, it's probably, if I'm completely honest, all downhill from here. If you want to take part in the show, it works like this. I sit here, sometimes with Catherine, sometimes with Id, and talk about stuff. I will talk about what's happened to me today, what's happened over the weekend, some of the stuff, a bit windy pop, sorry, some of the stuff in the papers. You can call in about that stuff, or you can call in about anything else that you want to call in about? 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. That's what Ray's done. Good evening, Ray.
Good evening, Ian.
How are you, Ray? You all right?
Very splendid, yes. Nice to speak to you again. This is my second time on this show.
Ray, it's a pleasure to have somebody here for their second time. It really is.
Wonderful.
I'm very windy. There is a chance, Ray, I have to stress this, and there are people watching on Periscope. There is a chance I might throw up this evening.
Oh, Lord, no, please no.
No, well, you say that. I'm not feeling very well. On these tablets, I hate to keep going on about it, but they have sent me doolally. Honestly, it's like it's New Year's Eve 1996 again. I don't know whether I'm Arthur or Martha, hither or thither.
Oh, dear. Is there a commode in the studio?
No, there isn't. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work, guys, if we have to. If we have to, Ray. We'll make it work. That's what we do here.
I can just see poor Kath sat there, trying to dodge the chunks.
Well, you know what they say. I don't know what they say actually. And what you got for us, Ray?
I'm going to revisit a topic from last week.
Beautiful. And this is the thing, guys. Can I just say because we got lots of new listeners. Lots.
Yeah.
We are getting new listeners. You can call in about anything, and if some shows on other radio stations, they will ask a question and they will stick to that question for an hour, right? And if anyone calls in and deviates from that question, can I bring you back to the question, please? And then the next hour they do another question, and if someone phones up and says, just go back to what you were talking about at 10, no, we're talking about something different. On this show, if I spoke about it 6 years ago, you can call in and talk about it. Honestly, I don't mind. Anyway, have a look.
Okay. Yeah, last week you were playing Beach Boys Stinkers.
Yes.
And you also played the disco version of Here Comes the Night, and about how they got booed off stage when they played it.
Yes.
Because make of this what you will. I'm a mobile DJ, and I think it was back in January. I actually ended up playing the disco version at one of my shows. And it actually went down rather well.
See, in hindsight, yes, I think the disco version of Here Comes the Night by the Beach Boys is great. But can you imagine them premiering it at Radio City Music Hall in New York in 1979, 2 years after disco had peaked, and people have gone because they want Surfing USA and the awful Barbara Ann and all of those things. And then it gets played, and then they get booed off stage. I love the Beach Boys partly because they have made so many missteps in their career. It's wonderful. It's joyous that they've made so many mistakes.
I mean, literally everybody was doing disco back then. Cliff Richard, the Bee Gees, ELO. I mean, for heaven's sake, even Squeeze did a disco song.
Hang on a minute, Raymundo. What disco song did Squeeze do?
Well, I'll say a disco song.
Thank you.
It was a B-side. Trying to remember the name of it.
Don't remember the name of it.
It briefly goes disco.
Oh, dude, you cannot diss the Squeeze-a-tollers with a disco song when it's only a middle eight. Come on.
Well,
no.
Okay, it was a brief visitation.
No.
Not good enough.
No, not good enough, sir. Anything else, Ray?
No, that'll be it.
All right, cheers, Liz. Thanks for calling. See you later on. Ta-ta. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I know it's 7 pence a minute plus your provider's access charge. We call you back. It's as simple as that, guys. And don't bother with the text or anything. I don't really like texts. I think a phone-in show should be people phoning in and saying stuff. Call me old-fashioned. You can follow me on Twitter at Iain Lee. But don't bother texting. Shall we play the So you didn't hear it last night, Id. You didn't hear it is our tick-op from New Zealand.
Kia ora. Sorry, local greeting. You got that.
Well, the thing is,
sorry,
you can't
Kia ora. The juice.
But why would you say?
Habit. Sorry. Continue.
You're in this country. You will follow our traditions and our rules. Coming over here, stealing our tech-op jobs. It's always nice. It's always nice to have visitors from abroad coming over here and working for less than we would work for. So that's great. Well done.
Thank you.
So you didn't listen to Howard Hughes last night?
No, I saw.
What were you doing instead?
I was. I can't even remember what I was doing. Probably nothing.
Drunk.
Not drunk.
Drunk?
No.
What's the tipple in New Zealand? What's the thing that really, if you go out for a night with the lads, as I'm sure you do many times, what would you all be ordering?
We'd probably be ordering craft beers at our local pub. So it's like beer, but made on a much smaller scale than anywhere else.
So local beers.
Local beers.
Local beers. Okay, fine. Well, that's great.
Or possibly a Stein Lager, which is a mass-produced.
I was just being polite.
Okay.
Not technically interested, but you you didn't listen to Howard Hughes last night.
No, I completely missed it.
Well, we were on. I was listening. Honestly, it's becoming 2 weeks in, and it's my must-listen show on a Sunday night. LBC. We're doing another 3 hours of Brexit. 3 hour Brexit special. Flipping it.
And how long have we got till the vote? Like months and
months
and
and
years?
So, Howard for me, right, and it's all bullshit. I don't buy any of this nonsense. I said bullshit, don't worry. I don't buy any of this nonsense about what they had remote viewers, and they had a ghost hunter, and they had... Oh, what was the 9/11 conspiracy theory that the guy right at the start had? Within minutes we were on... Anyway, I don't buy any of that, but I enjoy listening to it. I really enjoy listening to it. So, now where have I hidden it? Let me just find where I've hidden this. I put it under plums. Yeah, there it is. So, he's got some remote viewers on. Do you know what remote viewing is?
No idea.
Okay, what it is people... What it is nothing, basically, right? But people pretend that they can get some spooky music. People pretend that they can go into a meditative state, close their eyes, and they can see stuff like thousands of miles away. It turns out as well, they've now started saying they can see stuff that happened in the past or stuff that may happen in the future.
Now, these are people that are closing their eyes. They're not watching YouTube or something from a video from the past.
No, and they had someone on there who who'd seen JFK getting shot. Who hasn't? They had someone who saw Martin Luther King getting shot, and I don't think that was filmed. So basically, it's nonsense, right? Anyway, Howard opens the phone lines up, and someone phones in. Now, I've got to stop this to get this going. And it starts off like a sensible phone call.
Courtney Brown is in the US. Courtney, can you still hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, Howard?
I can, and we've got a caller on for you. James is online. James, you're on Talk Radio. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. Just want to say, first of all, great show. Really enjoying it so far.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. The remote viewing, I came across this. I studied at Sheffield Hallam University, and it was kind of pulled through from some aspects of a sort of a conspiracy group that I joined initially, and it was, aspects of 9/11. I kind of debunked it at first, but then did some reading into it. And,
so were you studying this academically, James?
I was actually studying business studies at the time. And I fell into sort of a group and learned quite a bit about, remote viewing and the powers. And then, there was sort of stories about the JFK assassination, and certain people said they'd been and seen what actually happened. And obviously that's a real interest peak. I think whatever side of the fence you're on, you're going to be interested.
Were you convinced by the stories?
Well, at first not, but as I dived deeper and deeper, I think the thing that sort of turned it for me is one guy actually said, he'd been involved with someone who'd done it in Phoenix, in the States, and they pulled it through, and they could confirm people on the grassy knoll to the extent of a description, in terms of an actual trajectory of the bullets. And then he actually told me, other things as well, which seemed at the time to be a bit strange. What he actually told me was that Marilyn Monroe, he told me that she was as hairy as a 1960s porn star. Like a lawn. And it's hard to believe that sort of thing, because she always seemed like she shaved, but no, hairy.
James, thank you for that. You've got a question for Courtney Brown. Let's get back to the point, yeah? No, we've lost him. Okay. Courtney Brown, this is, obviously the kind of thing that sometimes you get. Let's look at the project now. The project to look at the assassination of Martin Luther King.
I love the way that... He just goes on. Okay, enough of that. What was your question? Oh, I love that. Do you know what? We might play that again a little bit later on. Evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. It's Talk Radio. If you want to give us a call, 0844 499 1000.
The
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Coming up in about 2 hours' time, we're going live to Los Angeles to speak to Johnny Eccles, the lead guitarist from Love. Now, I know most of you won't know who Love is. Well, do yourself a favour. Go and download. Go and buy it on vinyl, you lazy so-and-sos. Go and buy Forever Changes. One of the greatest albums of all time, and he's on there playing on there. He's coming over with it's a long, complicated story, but he's coming over in July to play some gigs, and God damn it, I thoroughly recommend that all of you go and see him, for crying out loud. It will be shameful if you didn't. Also, later on, we will play your answer phone messages. I gave out a phone number last week. You're right, Kath, you back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's handy.
Trying to get hold of Manny, but his phone number don't work.
Neither do his eyes.
Oh.
I wonder if there's a connection. I wonder if there's a correlation. Manny, your phone number, and you know your eyes don't work in an industrial accident. It can happen.
Ring us up again.
What bits of your body have you lost or broken at work? We can do that. I tell you what was broken at work. My Soul by BBC Three Counties.
Oh, no, that was awful, wasn't it?
Broke my soul. Still, it could have been worse. They broke... BBC broke more than just souls. Well, they broke our souls, didn't they?
Our souls, yeah.
Yeah, they did, totally. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm feeling tonight... Normally I last 3.5 years in a job. I reckon 2.5 weeks. The maximum here.
Don't.
Talk, where are we? Talk Radio. That's it. We can do that. What
have you broke at work?
What have you broken at work? What have you lost over the weekend? And what have you bought and only used once? I was looking around. I've got too many things. Okay, I've got too many things.
But I like things.
I did. I remember once having a dinner, and this dinner will be mentioned again in a few weeks on this show.
So I need to pay attention.
Well, you do actually, because at this dinner is a future guest on this show was being
what?
The tense got all confused there. A future guest on this show was at the dinner to which I refer, which took place, I'm going to say it, 16 years ago.
Crikey.
So, shall I tell you who was there?
Go on.
Shall I tell you who the future guest was?
Please.
John Ronson was there.
Oh, right.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
Other up-and-coming people, me. I was a somebody. And Kevin Ligo, who was the then head of Channel 4.
Right.
Okay? And he was telling me, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I think that's why my career stalled.
Well.
About how he had got rid of everything. And I said what you said there. I said, but I like things. He said, no. Things clutter the house, and they clutter the mind. He may not have said that. I may be giving him more wisdom than perhaps he displayed then. But it's true. And I've got too many things. And I was looking around my office. It's called the office because it's got a computer in. And yeah, it's got my records. I like my records. It's got my monkey stuff. And I like a lot of my monkey stuff, although some of it is tat. The Davy Jones Halloween outfit. I didn't need to spend $150 on that. Can't sell it now.
Ouch.
The dog ate the box. Oh. But I've got loads of stuff. The drone that I used once and it cut my ear.
Yeah, and then I bought one because you said it was brilliant and it cut me.
Yeah. It's full of DVD box sets. I bought the entire Kids in the Hall series on box set, which I've not opened it. I've not even opened it. All of this stuff. So at some point, I want to reach a zen part in my life. Be with you in a second, Manny.
Hello.
Are you back on the booze?
No.
Right. You just sounded a little bit hungover.
No.
Have you got a load of stuff?
What stuff?
You know, stuff you don't need.
Plenty. It's all in the garage.
Yeah, it's in the garage. A lot of it's in the garage, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I've got that I bought and never used? Well, I used once, and I can't be bothered because it's such a faff. Pasta machine.
Yeah.
I thought I'll have a crack at this, and do you know what? It was good fun. I don't need to do it again. You can buy it turns out.
I've got a steam machine, you know, where you can put the fish in and the...
They're good. You should use that more. It's good for you.
Never been used. It's only been used, I think, twice.
The kitchen is full. The kitchen is full of just stuff. I mean, I had an electric can opener, but it was, but it did it itself.
Yeah.
So you clip it on and press a button and it open a can.
Did it not stick to the wall? My gran had one that stuck to the wall. Had a magnet that would hold the can up while it did it.
I know the ones you mean. But great. Sorry. Great fun. Used it once. That's it. It's gone. So one day, and I'm getting close to it, Kath and Manny. I'm getting close to it. One day, I want to be able to go with a black bag and just put the stuff in the bag. You put the lime in the coconut, the stuff in the bag, and then take it to the dump, and then that's
But you can't dump it, though. That's the other thing.
I think I could.
No.
I'm getting close to it.
I think I'm a bit too working class about things, because if it's brand new and it's still serviceable, I can't dump it. I'd rather give it to someone.
Imagine how you're breathing a little bit heavily there, Manny.
I'm waiting to talk to you.
Yeah, I know, but you're just a little... It's just starting to sound a little bit... So just back off. I had so much fun. I made myself laugh so much today. I had to phone you up and tell you that I'd made a sex crime hotkey. But I'm getting very close to that point in my life where I can get rid of it all.
Don't you feel responsible for it, though?
Nope.
If it still works?
Nope.
Oh, I can't dump it.
No. Don't need it. Don't need it. We don't need it. What do we need? What do we need? We need nourishment. We need water.
Yeah.
That's it.
Food.
Clothing.
Well, food is nourishment, Manny.
You need clothes.
Do you, though?
Yeah.
Look at the naked rambler.
Legally,
Look at him.
well, legally he needs clothes.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
No,
though.
he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No,
though.
no.
Yeah.
No, there's
He's been
no
told
law.
if he carries on flashing it about, he's going back inside.
Yeah, but there's no law that says you have to wear clothes.
Yeah, but there's a law that says you're not allowed to outrage public decency. And do you know he can't see his children because of the way he behaves?
No, he can't see his children because of he's. Well, I don't know.
That's one of the things that's in the way.
There's not. But that's a twisting of the law. There is no law that says you have to wear clothes. If we all stripped off, right? If we all stripped off.
Oh, is this where this is going?
You start. If we all stripped off, would the police going to arrest everybody? I don't think so. I don't think so. 0844 499 1000. Me speak much sense, Manny, huh?
Right, you know, last night...
He's going to go straight into his point now. He's been waiting for a gap in the conversation to back his articulated
You told me about
Lorien.
this is Birmingham, isn't it?
Yep. They can't do it. Here's the thing I noticed in Birmingham when I worked there, Manny, right? And they were much better callers...
Because they said all sorts.
They have much better callers than all of the callers at Three Counties Radio. Sorry about that, Dennis.
It's not a nice thing to say to me, you rotten old sod.
But what you could do, you're West Midlands, but what you could do, Dennis, the 3CR callers could do that the WM lot couldn't do, is you could pick up a spontaneous conversation. The ones in WM, and I told you about it, and
I listened to it and I heard it, and they would say, "Yeah, but I didn't phone you to talk about that."
They will call in, Dennis. Dennis, you and I are now having a spontaneous conversation, aren't we?
Yes, certainly.
And Manny, you can't do it, can you?
Why? I'm waiting to get in.
Exactly! He's waiting to get in! Go on then, Manny, what are you waiting to get in about?
Last night, Howard's show.
Howard Hughes, yes.
Yeah. You know the bloke you was on about who said he can meditate and blah, blah.
He said he can meditate and blah, blah, yeah.
Yeah, Howard bought a thing in a box, right, and he says, well, could you tell me what's in there? He goes, oh, no, he goes, I need 4 hours.
There's a surprise, yeah, there's a surprise.
Is that what he said? You needed 4 hours?
Yeah.
I need an hour to meditate, and I need 3 hours to get all this stuff ready, and he doesn't actually do it, he gives it to somebody else to do, actually.
Yeah, I didn't understand exactly what his job was. His job was bullshine master.
Yeah, and that woman was good.
Princess Eugenie?
From Scotland.
Oh, I started... yeah, she was good. I started to fall asleep then.
Anyway, I'll tell you a quick one. You know...
well, hang on. What? Give it... What, you're going to tell us a quick what?
You know, you want about nudity?
Yes, sir.
Right. When I moved here, right, in 1990, there's a young couple behind our garden, and their back door is sort of onto our upstairs window.
Their back door goes onto your upstairs window?
No,
when you say their back door, is that a euphemism?
Hang on. If you look from our upstairs window, you can see into her kitchen. And I swear to my kids, my dad, right, he used to go upstairs at 10 o'clock every Sunday morning.
Oh, dear.
And she used to cook in the nude with just an apron on.
Just an apron on?
Yeah.
Well, you got to watch out for splashback.
Why does he go up every Sunday about this time?
And so your dad would go and watch the nudie woman doing the cooking?
The old bot.
Yeah, exactly. Flipping heck, Dennis. I've got to be so careful what I say here.
Anyway, your show's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I used to listen to Andy Goldstein, but you're much better.
Hey!
In your face!
Clip that, because Goldstein, every night, right, Goldstein, for those of you who don't know, he's some chancer who works on TalkSport, and he's... Jason Cundy, yeah.
Yeah.
And every night he comes in, Goldstein comes in, you nicked my parking space, but peppered with the foulest language I've ever heard.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And he comes in and he brings us topics that he thinks we're going to throw out there, like...
Topics last week. Ever been let down by a prostitute?
Yeah. What colour's your favourite Tic Tac? Was the one today.
And what was it? There was another one he did that was actually quite good, and I thought we'd have that. Anyway, well, Manny, it's.
Anyway,
do you know what?
You've got the best show.
You're right.
In the whole world.
That's a bit creepy, Manny. I'm going to cut you off now, Manny.
Okay, pal.
Ta-ta.
Manny's daddy peeping at the neighbour.
Andy Goldstein, yeah. Dennis?
Let down by a prostitute. Yes, so I was.
Yeah, we'll get that story after this. Evening, dear listener. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. If you want to give us a call, 0844 499 1000. We call you back. Some of you are watching on Periscope. I don't know how Periscope really works, but if you go to @Iain Lee on Twitter, you'll see it there. Or just look for Iain Lee on Periscope. Does that work?
Yeah, that works. If you go to search Iain Lee on Periscope in your app or on the or even Google, it should come up.
I don't really understand Periscope. Me and my friend Paul Garner, who do you know what? We must get Garner on the show one night, because Garner's written for everybody. He's a brilliant comedy writer, and he's written for everybody. And we once were both feeling miserable. I went round his house because I'd not seen him for ages, and we both just went, "Oh, life's a mess." And we cheered ourselves up by watching this guy in like deep. Sort of like Texas or something, doing a Periscope of him drinking beer at like 8 in the morning. He was just sat on his porch drinking beer, and there was only 2 other people watching him. So me and Garner started watching him, and he was loving it until he called us fags, and they got a little bit homophobic, and we had to. We wound him up a little bit. If I'm honest, we wound him up a bit. 0844 499 1000. Iain Lee here on Talk Radio. Kath is there. Ian is there. Dennis is on the line. Yes, Dennis.
Good evening. Yeah, when I was in the Navy, we were in Malta and went down Straight Street, the Gut, with some of my pals. And this.
Are you speaking English?
Yes. Why?
Because I'm struggling. It feels like we're halfway through a story, and I don't know what.
You are halfway through a story. You introduced it. It's about being let down by.
So prostitute.
Oh, do we? I didn't really want to do that. All right. Well, we have to tell Andy we did it. We have to pay him.
A minute. So this woman came and sat screwed in between 3 of us.
Yes.
And she demanded we buy a drink. So I said, "Yeah, I'll buy some gin." Anyway, when he poured it out, I took the glass off, and it was only bloody water. So.
Oh dear.
Finger in the top of her dress, pulled it out and poured it down there.
Right.
So she's got a pair of wet knickers. At least she could go and change the knickers.
There we go. That's great. That actually happened.
It's happened, yeah.
Yes, that actually happened. Dennis, have you ever lost any part of your body at work?
Not at work. No. I've lost part of it in hospital, but that's beside the point.
Well, which part have you lost? Your insides or your outsides?
Part of my inside.
We can do this. We're going to build a human. Oh. We're going to build a human, Catherine.
Okay.
So what did you lose, Dennis?
Well, I lost my tonsils when I was very small.
Hang on a minute.
I remember this story from last week.
Hang on a second. I'm going to draw a body.
Yeah.
Right. I'm drawing a body. Hang on. And we're going to build the body from lost body parts. So hang on a second. Let me just. That hand really isn't.
Gosh, it looks like Morph died on your sheet there.
Okay, just show the people at home that that's actually what I've just drawn. Okay, so your tonsils, that's in your throat, isn't it?
Yeah.
So came out with a scoop.
Dennis's tonsils, okay.
They told you to count and you were too little, weren't you, Dennis?
Yep.
Dennis's tonsils, there. Okay, what else have you lost, then?
Well, I had a hernia operation. I'm not sure whether I lost anything because all the operators, the operating lady and all the girls were there.
Yeah.
And she said she sat on my bed talking. She said, "When we're done it, we're going to have a look at your dinky do and your balls."
What?
I lay there waiting to go in the operating theatre.
Late night with Dennis. Really, it's a little bit blue. Something for the dads.
There wasn't a lady there with a big knife.
Did
Luckily,
you?
When I came out, I counted, and still had 2, so I was all right.
What is a hernia? Is like when your insides get tied up in a knot.
No, you get a little hole in the wall of your.
I thought it was when
so
your
guts start to pop out.
your sinew got tied in a knot.
No.
A friend of mine got his testicles twisted. Don't get it twisted. Got his testicles
I know
twisted.
someone. Yeah, I had to.
That happens.
A friend of mine's husband did, and she took him to the hospital in a terrible state.
He twisted. Oh, dear God.
He thought he was going to die.
Did he?
No, he just got untwisted. He was all right.
And how do they manipulate it? Do they have to cut open? I'm going to say a medical term because we can.
No, there was no cutting.
Do they have to cut open his sack?
No, I don't think there's any cutting. I think there must have been some outside manipulation.
Yeah, what they do, they twist it a little bit more so it's nice and tight, and then let go, and it on.
Thanks for calling, Dennis.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. Oh, by the way, I spoke to Kelly today. She sends her love.
Oh, and where's this video of you?
Oh, I'll do it. I'll sort it out. I'll sort it out this way. I promise.
I've got his address for you.
I didn't.
Did you really speak to Kelly?
We texted. She didn't send her love. I can't read the message because it's on the phone. But she said Dennis sounded a bit dead. So
he'd not been very.
He's
honestly,
not been he's on the mend.
While I was still at the other place,
Yep.
he was ringing up and he sounded dreadful.
He's on the mend.
But he sounds like old Dennis again now.
0844
Old Dennis.
499 1000. Dennis did lose his tonsils in 1928.
Did.
Louis Bath, the radio critic for The Lady, is listening, and he can now. He knows what year Dennis lost it.
Well, he did repeat himself quite a lot.
Right, we're going to build a body. So we've got Dennis's tonsils. Did your friend lose a plum?
No. They
just
retrieved it. It was awful. I had to take her. I had to tell my husband I've got to take her because her husband's having terrible trouble
downstairs. Men's problems.
Well, and she
oh dear.
Yeah, she got to the hospital and they thought all sorts was going on, but it turned out it was just a little bit twisted.
Ben wants to know how you're going to find a head for your morph body from removed body parts. Oh, you just wait and see,
there'll be
buddy.
bits. There'll be bits.
You will get a call. We'll get a call from someone. Trust me. Does one? I mean, they are very. It's weird, isn't it, that the male genitals are external
and impractical.
Very impractical, and they're very precariously positioned, aren't they? This is a serious thing. You would think that evolution would make them somehow safer, cocooned.
Give you some sort of armoury.
But there's nothing. Man has had to make it himself with the box, which is a nightmare to wear.
It's a ridiculous thing.
0844 499 1000. What happened to Andrea? Go on then. Go on then. Don't just sit there. Call her.
Oh, I need to be borrowed.
Oh, go on, out you go. Go on and out you go. You see? They don't know how to work. They don't know how to work the studio, guys. That's what's going on here at Talk Radio. If you've lost bits of your body, what have you bought and used only once? What's wrong?
Just wanted to clarify something editorially with me.
What was? We
could talk about suppositories. I said we've talked about everything else. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
The French love them, you know. You can have a sore throat and they'll give you something for up your.
Yeah, I had to have one once, and it was very, very upsetting. It's traumatic to have. It's traumatic.
When I had one, I was having a baby, so I didn't really care what was going on down there. To be honest, I just wanted it to be over.
It's an unpleasant.
It's not nature's way, is it?
Experience. Listen, we've got to get this out of the way. The Archers. Spoiler alert, guys. I knew he wasn't dead. I knew Rob wasn't dead. It's not what upsets me. It's not the horrific storyline about spousal abuse and domestic violence and mental torture and controlling and it's not the stabbing of Rob by Helen in front of Henry, the young lad. It's not even the sending off to watch cartoons and the speed with which he went to watch the cartoons after the stabbing. It's not the fact that she's been arrested. It's the fact that we've now got pictures of what the actors look like, and that's not the picture I had in my head.
No.
That's not...
What does she look like in your head?
Well, it's more what he looked like in my head.
Oh, yeah.
He's stubbly there. He's not stubbly. He's clean-shaven. He's a man in control. He's a powerful man. He's a weak man, of course, 'cause he's a bully. But he's a powerful man in control, or at least exuding that. So to have him stubbly, no, not good. His hair there is messy and grey. No, it's dark brown with a very, very strong parting. He looks like a weak man. I could probably take him in a fight if I had to.
Oh, but then you probably could.
He
picks on women.
He's a big man. He's a powerful man. You're a big man, but you're out of shape. What film is that from?
Don't know.
I think it's Get Carter.
Probably.
That's not what he looks like. This woman here is too... she's too beautiful. I expected significantly
You wanted Mousy.
Mousy, plain Jane Superbrain is what I expected. So these Louisa Patikas and Timothy Watson...
They won't do.
What we need... Right, they've got the voices. We know they've got the voices. 0844 499 1000 if you want to join in what is fast becoming the place to discuss Radio 4's The Archers. It's Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Louis Bath doesn't like The Archers.
Well, Louis Bath hasn't got a flipping clue what he's just saying that so he can be all trendy. I don't like The Archers. You ain't got a clue, mate. You ain't got a clue. It's banging.
It's banging.
It's banging. Iain Lee. Put that on the posters. Now they can't use Paul Ross anymore. For obvious reasons, which we don't go into because we're all colleagues here. So, you've made me sidestep what I was going to say. Yeah, so they've got the voices. So, yeah, use these actors for the voices. But then when you're having publicity pictures done, use actors that look like the picture in my head. That's what they need to do. And that's where The Archers has gone tragically wrong, in my opinion. 0844 499 1000. I'm not wrong, am I, Rosie?
Oh, well, I have no idea because I've never listened to it except years ago when my mum used to listen to it. And I don't think any of those characters would probably be alive anymore.
Have you been smoking the ganja?
Certainly not.
You sound a little bit relaxed.
I'm just chilling on the sofa.
Yeah, you sound a little bit Buffalo soldier, smoking with Rosie, having a fat one.
And then you pass me the what's-its.
Her granddaddy invented delicious Ribena, but now she's smoking a Pakistani ganja, singing, oi, 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 oi. Hey, what does that sound like? Oi, 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 da 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 da. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4 banana, make a bunch and soda many more.
Yeah, I remember that.
Let's see if that works. Hang on, let's see if it works.
We're mashing it up live.
Is Bob Marley still alive, dressed up as one of the banana splits? It would make so much sense. Here we go, hang on. Hang on a minute. Here we go. This is the most I've ever listened to a Bob Marley song.
Oh, I like Bob Marley.
Oh, no. Here we go. Oh,
Axe me.
Here we go. Buffalo soldier, riding a Rosie. Her granddad invented delicious sugar drink, singing. It doesn't.
Anyway, you get the idea.
Anyway, Rosie, get to the point for crying out loud.
Oh, yeah, well, I've lost a few bits.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna. Now, I'm tempted to build a man and a woman. We'll save that for month 6 when we've actually got listeners to the show. Okay. Yeah. So at the moment, we're just building one man,
unisex,
one woman.
So you could use them for either.
Okay.
Okay. These are unisex bits that she's lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
No. Well, I tell you. Well, okay. There is that, or it could be that we're simply doing. No woman, no cry. The reggae special on Talk Radio. No woman, no. And the picture they've got of Bob Marley is Bob Marley stood in a field of ganja. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. For years, I thought you were saying no woman, no crime.
Well.
In
That's
many ways,
pretty
it's
much
true.
that's pretty much what the guy
Rosie,
said about the hostage situation, wasn't it? There's always a woman.
There's always I loved how they were laughing at that, the Egyptian. Anyway, Rosie, what have you lost?
I've lost a rheumatoid nodule off my knee.
So can we call it a knee? Can we say you've lost
Say
a knee?
Yeah, go on. It's
Okay,
quite
so
a big lump.
Rosie's knee. Yep.
Rosie's knee, and also
Rosie's knee, by the way, excellent prog rock band from
the end
the
of
late
my the
70s.
side
Second album.
of my thumb. They've
thumb?
taken all the nerve endings out when they tried to remove a thorn.
Call it a thumb.
Thorn
So
in my
call it the end of my thumb.
Rosie's thumb. Yep. Okay.
And 2 back teeth.
Teeth. Oh gosh, we're gonna have to do all the teeth, aren't we?
Mhm.
Rosie's teeth. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rosie's teeth. That's about it, really. I think.
Rosie,
That'll do for any
That's not
person.
bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad, is it?
That'll
I never
do,
got
Rosie.
teeth.
That'll do. No one man, no cry. He's so tedious, Marley.
No, he's not.
I got accused on LBC. I said I don't like Bob Marley. Someone phoned up and said I was a racist.
Well, they got you right.
Well, that is actually that's libelous.
Give it some lip.
Talk Radio.
Age, you're not wrong. Age says, what about man he's lost eyesight? Does that count? Oh boy, it does. So far we've got eyes, teeth, a thumb, tonsils and a knee. We are building a human being, genderless as is the fashion these days, from your lost body parts. Ideally lost at work, but otherwise a hospital scenario will do. We'll take more of your calls after we get the latest news. Put the microphone on. This is why I need to. This is why it's frustrating. Now, don't worry. I'll make this work this way. This is why it's frustrating not having control in the studio. Now I've got control. There we go. There we go.
When I was a boy, I thought about times I'd be a man.
This is love. This is love, right? This is flipping brilliant.
I'd sit inside a bottle and
This is the invention of punk rock, right? And the lead guitarist coming on at 12:30.
in my lonely room.
Best lyrics in the world. Okay, forget Dylan. Listen to this. Listen to this.
You can throw me if you want to, but on my phone and I go boom, bim, bim, boom, bim, bim.
Yeah! Oh man, this is brilliant, right? I want to ask you about this song, right? 0844 499 1000.
If I don't start crying, it's because that I have got no eyes.
What? Because that I've got no
Yeah.
eyes.
My father's in the fireplace
And my dog lies hypnotized.
Through a crack of light, I wasn't able to find my way.
This is that drumming.
Trapped inside a night, but I'm a day and I go boom, bim, bim, boom, bim, bim, yeah.
I love this song. I haven't heard this song for. It's just such a good song. Here we go. 2, 3. Anyway, and on and on it goes. Not for much longer. But there's. What was that? But there is. I've got this bootleg here, which I think we're allowed to play. Listen to. This is. We're going to play this later on. So this is them recording that song.
77.
Take 77. It goes on.
81.
And on.
Take 87.
And I think it may.
Take 88.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Take 88 to get that 2-minute punk masterpiece. 0844 499 1000. Hang on a second. Let me just see if this. Rosie, you've been on already. Oh, the bloody phones don't work. Oops. The phones don't work, guys. I'm glad that problem got sorted out over the weekend. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're more than welcome to. We're going to play the answer phone messages.
Excellent.
In a little bit. But before that, here's Russ. Yes, Russ.
Good morning, sweetie.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
I always get the impression, Russ, that when you call up, you are in your pants and you've got your hand down there and you're touching yourself. I don't know why, but I always get that impression. Am I right? Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, It's listening to you, Ian.
Yeah, it would be.
It does things to a fellow like me.
It is an erotic listen. It certainly is an erotic listen. There's a phone call. We've got because the phones don't work properly. I've got to keep throwing bits of paper at Id to get that because he's busy doing other bits and pieces, and because I can't take the phones, it's all.
But I can go. I'll do one if you want.
Well, okay, hang on, Rosie.
Hi there.
Yeah, you've been on already.
No, it's the husband. It's the other half.
Right, Cass, go and phone the husband up. There we go. We'll sort that out. Right, Russ. What have you got for us, Russ?
Things you bought that you didn't need. But first of all, a scourge on society.
You do this a lot,
unrequired.
Russ.
There's unrequired mobility scooters.
You do this, Russ. What you do, and listen, we're going to go with this, is you phone up and you flag up what your greatest hit is going to be. You phone up and say, it's like Paul McCartney phoning up saying, all right, Ian, how's it going? It's Paul McCartney. Yeah, I'm gonna play Love Me Do in a second, but before that, can I just do a track off my new album?
The frog song.
The frog.
what it is? I'm listening to you, and other things pop into my head. I do apologise.
That's all right, as long as it's just your head they're popping into. Right. So go on. What you got?
First of all, the scourge on society of unrequired mobility scooters.
Go on, mate. Go on.
Well, I'm on holiday at the minute in North Wales, and I always
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I always notice when I'm up here is there's a particular overuse of mobility scooters, and quite often by people that are young and not all. They can't all be disabled. A lot of them are overweight.
I'm going to say a game that I've played with Kath in Milton Keynes Shopping Centre. Okay, not that one. Don't worry.
It's like wacky races.
It is disabled or lazy. Now, what we do is we try and guess if the person using the mobility scooter is in fact disabled or lazy. And before everyone phones in to have a pop at Ofcom, I know you can't always tell if someone is disabled. Okay, you can't always tell. Some disabilities are hidden, and so of course. But as you're right to say, Russ, there are a significant number of chances that are just lazy that are using them just because they. It's like have you ever been to Las Vegas, Russ?
No,
it's horrible. No. It's the worst place in the world. It's horrible, right? Gambling and prostitution. It's horrible unless you like gambling and prostitution. But you'll get lots of people that use these buggies driving around the one-armed bandits, the fruit machines, the gamblers. And they're perfectly able to get up and walk from one-armed bandit to the other. Do people still call them one-armed bandits? But they can't be bothered, because it will be too much effort. So they just drive around in a little buggy. It's outrageous.
It does drive them mad. And some of them, I ain't being funny, some of them, you can tell it's because they're in them because they're too lazy, but then they become overweight, so then that becomes the reason for using them.
The way I determine whether these people need to be in these buggies or not is I stand behind them very quietly and go, fire! And if they get up and run out, I'm thinking they don't need that buggy, I confiscate it and then I sell it on eBay. Very, very nice little earner. Very, very nice. They are fun to drive. My mum used to have one, and thank God hers broke down because she couldn't drive it at all. They are fun to. Here's the thing, Russ. Who have I got to sleep with to get to use? You know, you get those little electric cars that drive people around at airports.
Yeah,
and sometimes
like a golf buggy.
It's like a golf buggy. And sometimes, yes, there'll be an old person in it. Sometimes I think there's just someone in there who's lazy and is late for the plane. And so you get the beep, 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 and they go sailing through. I used to be on the television. I would love to have a go in one of the airport golf buggies. It doesn't seem fair.
I'll tell you a funny story about golf buggies.
I bet you won't.
Well, just quickly.
I bet you won't.
All right.
No, go on, then try it.
I did part-time job as a teenager at a golf course.
You did a part-time job as a teenager?
Yeah. collecting the balls off the driving range. And
we all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad in everyone, and we learn to give Hang on. What are the lyrics to Ebony and Ivory? How does it start, Russ?
Ebony
Is that how it starts? Right, let's try again.
and Ivory.
But with the tune. Okay. Let's try again. Try again. Here we go. You and me. Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why can't we? We all know, here we go, that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad in everyone, and we learn to give, and we learn to give each other what we need to survive. Together alive, Ebony and Ivory live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? Bow, 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 bow. 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 You ready, Russ? Here we go. Yeah. Ebony, Ivory, living in perfect harmony. Ebony, Ivory, ooh. We all know that people are the same wherever you go. It's McCartney's Harmony. There is good and bad, ooh, in everyone. I'm trying to do both bits here, Russ. We learn to live, and we learn to give each other what we need to survive. Together alive, Ebony and Ivory live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? Side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why? Ebony, Ivory, living in perfect harmony. Ebony, Ivory, living in perfect harmony. Ebony, Ivory, living in perfect harmony. Ebony, Ivory. I'm doing it all on my own here, I'm circling in perfect.
Lost the plot.
Ebony, Ebony, Ivory. I said a living in perfect harmony. Ebony and Ivory. Ivory's frowned on a little bit these days, unfortunately. Living in perfect. Another 37 seconds, Ross. Can you believe it? Ivory, living in perfect harmony. Ebony, Ivory, living. Why does it sound like a MIDI file? I paid 99 pence for this. It sounds like a MIDI file from the 80s. All together now. Ebony, Ivory. Russ, that was excellent. Thanks, that buddy.
All right, mate, no problem. You'll be having that Nigel from Maidstone ringing up next.
Oh, God, please, please don't. OK, guys, we're going to... turns out... Donna, am I correct in thinking you want to come on and play iPod Roulette?
Yes, I've been dreaming about this.
You're prepared... You had a dream. You're prepared to come on the radio, and I'm going to say it, have your pants taken down and your bottom spanked, yeah?
Oh, yes, please.
All right, no, OK. Stay there. We need a judge for our iPod Roulette. 0844 499 1000. We need a judge, and we will calibrate the judge this time. We didn't calibrate the judge last time, and there was... I forgot I had this. Have you heard this? It's a string quartet playing the greatest hits, ladies and gentlemen, of Fleetwood Mac. It's a cracking album. It's a cracking album. Someone just reminded me on Periscope. Thank you. You can go and watch the show on Periscope this evening if you want to. You can tweet at Iain Lee, or you can give us a call, 0844 499 1000. It's Mr. Ribena Rosie. Good evening, Mr. Ribena Rosie.
Hi, Ian. Hello.
Hello, fella. What you got for us, boss? I'm going to have a swig of water while I talk to you. What you got?
Losing bits of your body.
Go on, what have you lost? And how?
Well, this happened to my dad.
Okay, we can take parents' body parts. Of course we can. We're a new radio station.
During the Second World War, when he was a soldier, in France, he wasn't injured, but he got a condition that meant he needed a minor stomach operation.
Okay, yeah.
So he was taken back to a field hospital back in France, and at this place they had a surgeon, and they arranged to do the operation.
Fantastic. Like MASH?
Yeah. Now, because the army likes to do things efficiently, for that day they found another soldier who needed the same operation. And they lined them both up together, so they're both in the same room, like side by side.
Hey, that's handy. Hey, we should get. Who's the fellow? Who's in charge of the hospitals these days? Is it Hunt? Well, right, get Hunt on the line, and I won't say that again, just in case. And get him to. This is a brilliant way to save money and boost morale.
Although you might want to hear the outcome of the story. Well, they were both prepared together. They were prepped for the operation, and one went in, had the operation, came out obviously unconscious.
Yes.
The other one went in, had the operation. Anyway, a couple of hours later, they both come round and they're recovering. And the surgeon.
And they'd had their heads swapped.
No, well, the surgeon came around to check how they were.
Of course.
And he said, by the way, while I had you open, I noticed your appendix looks a bit inflamed. So I thought, well, I'll save time because that might cause you a problem in the future. I'll whip it out now. But he said, but I'm buggered if I can remember which one of you it was.
So hang on a minute. So
my dad didn't know whether he had an appendix or not. He might have lost it. He might not.
Flippin' heck, you think he would have marked it with an X or something, like that? Is your dad still with us? Your dad's not with us anymore, is he?
He's not. No.
Did you? I mean, if this crosses the line of taste, then please let me know. But I will always be curious. I mean, when he passed, was there any chance of finding out? You couldn't say, listen, the mystery of our life has he got appendix or not?
Could have said something suspicious about the end, and could they do an autopsy?
Listen, Mr. Rosie, Ribena Rosie, it's always good to talk. Thank you very much indeed. 0844 499 1000. We don't have a judge as of yet for iPod Roulette. If we don't get one, Donna... No. The game can still continue.
Oh, okay.
But it just means I'm the judge.
Oh, right.
Right, you say...
I'm going to win then, am I?
Well, no, I've said that, and now the phones have literally gone mental, and by mental, I mean one call. Is called. Still, I mean, it's one call that Julia Hartley-Brill would die for. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Donna. What 32 years old?
32? God, no. Older than that.
49.
Not that old.
38.
I turned 40.
40. Okay, so you're an old so-and-so like me. Okay. Which is great news. What kind of music would you have on your iPod?
I've got all sorts of crap, to be honest. There's all sorts of crap. I gave the iPod to my brother, and he just downloaded. That was a bad mistake.
Why would you do that? For me, my iPod, I've got an iPod Classic, right, and it's a few years old, but it's 120 gigabytes, and it's the one with the wheel. They don't make these anymore.
Oh, mine's the same. Mine's an old one.
But dear Apple, if you want to make a few quid from my pocket, carry on making these, but put 500 gigabytes in it. Because I would buy that, because I've still got loads of music I can't fit on there. I have to pick and choose what I put on there. Get a 500 gigabyte classic style iPod, and boy oh boy, you would get my dollar.
But they're easier to use as well, aren't they, them ones?
And also, all I want it to do, I don't want a camera, I don't want Sky, all I want to do is listen to music on it. That's all I want to do.
That's true.
There we go. Right, okay, I think we've got a judge. Rob?
Oh, right.
Hello.
Rob, are you prepared to be the judge this evening?
I am fully prepared and ready and willing and able.
Okay, what we're going to do, we did this last week, and we didn't calibrate the judge, okay? And so there was a controversy. It was Kyle, I think, and we had to boot him off.
Yeah, it was Kyle.
So we're gonna play a practice round just to make sure, Rob, that you're calibrated correctly.
Yeah.
So that we know that you're functioning properly. Donna, this doesn't count.
Okay.
It's only a practice. You go first. What pops up, my dear?
Right, okay. It could be any random old shit, so I'm just, warning you now.
Oh, okay. I'm warning you now. This is not Talk Sport, young lady.
All right.
We do not.
Sorry.
We do not. Exactly, Rob. We do not allow indoor language on this. We think I'm Andy Goldstein or something.
I'll give her a yellow card.
Yellow carded.
Yellow card for that one today.
Let's
All
go.
right, let's see what we got.
Okay, let's see what we get from the potty-mouthed lady.
Can you hear? It is Suede. Handsome as home.
It's Suede, is it?
Can you hear that?
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, this is my go in the calibration round.
Was that Slade or Suede?
Suede.
Okay. And here's mine in the calibration round. Hang on. Turn yours off now. Here's mine. Here's mine. In a second. It's Syd Barrett with Late Night, Take Two.
Oh, really? If I say,
It's the calibration round, Rob. We're calibrating you, the judge. What have you got? What would you say was the winner?
They're both losers in their own way.
You've got to pick a winner, buddy. You've got to pick a winner, otherwise we move on to the next judge.
Oh, it's 10.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Suede.
Yeah, it's the right answer. It's the right answer. It's the right answer.
Yeah.
He is Barrett. You can't do that.
He is calibrated correctly.
I'm saying it's barbaric.
No. Let us play for real. Kath, you want to come in and feel the vibe? Right, Donna, you go first.
It's partly the reason I'm calibrated correctly, but no one else entered.
So say that again, Rob. Sorry, hang on, Donna. So you stop waffling.
Oh, here we go.
Are you, Donna? Are you drunk?
No.
Okay. Blimey. All right, Donna, you go first. Away you go.
Death of a disco dancer.
What? Is that a song or is that a threat?
It's the Smiths.
The Smiths.
Oh, I like the Smiths.
Well, it's Manchester, isn't it?
Wow.
Okay, so we've got the Smiths.
But
All right, turn it off. Here's my go.
Okay.
Here's my first
Slow it down.
shuffle.
4 to go on this London show, and here you have the Kinks who sing all day and all of the night.
Stop it there. That's fine.
It's all day and all of the night from the Kinks Deluxe edition live on the BBC.
Of course.
Another one.
The Kinks have won, haven't they?
Yeah, of course.
Of course they have. 1-0.
Oh.
You've still, Donna, I'm going to go next. We've both got our passes if we want to play them.
Okay. Are you going next then?
I'm going next.
All right.
Controversially, it's the Buffalo Springfield. Down to the wire. I'm going to pass on the Buffalo Springfield.
Oh.
I'm passing.
Cheeky.
And we got... Oh.
What is that anyway?
Hang on.
Sounds like a Who.
No, it's the Beach Boys.
Why is my iPod so quiet on here? I don't know why it's the Beach Boys.
I didn't know the Beach Boys have done that many songs.
Oh, it's the Beach Boys. It's an instrumental version of Darling, I'm afraid, from the album Stacco Tracks. It's a tough call. I should have perhaps... Okay, what's yours, Donna? What have you got?
Let's see what we get.
Let's see what we get.
Let me see. Oh, Pulp. Babies.
Oh, yeah.
Babies. No, sorry, Ian. I mean, I know you love the Beach Boys, but
you know?
Babies wins every time.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course. All right, you've won that, Donna.
That's good, that one.
It's a good one, that. It is. I want to give you babies. I'm a dirty pervert. I want to give you babies. Right. Okay, Donna.
Okay, sorry.
Hang on a minute. Rob's about to tell us a story about his brush with greatness. Go on, Rob. What happened? You met Jarvis?
Well, I used to work for the NME, and obviously I didn't. Not on the reporting side, but on the advertising side of things. But Jarvis was at the NME Awards. Very nice chap.
I had to introduce Jarvis on stage once when I hosted the Q Awards. Totally out of my depth, got paid an absolute fortune, but did a terrible, terrible job of it. Also, the same. I was awful. I was so out of my depth, and it's because they were paying me so much money. I was terrified.
Really?
Oh, it was.
Well done, you.
Well, I know. Should I tell you what I got paid?
Well, can I guess?
Have a guess.
I used to help book the presenters for the NME Awards.
Yeah.
So I know roughly what we were paying, and I reckon you'd have been about 10K.
I got 10 grand.
Oh!
10 grand for a night's work, and I did.
What do I get for that?
You don't get. You get nothing. And I've got it on video at home, and I've never watched it because I did such a bad. I was out of my depth, Rob. I was out of my flipping depth. I mean, I got to meet amazing people. I almost.
Clean years or later or early. Or
It
later.
was.
The dark times.
It's just to say that 10 grand didn't last very long at all. Right, on that bombshell.
Lovely night.
I tell you what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with the third and final round after these short messages.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Drive with Sam Delaney on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Fuel your appetite for adrenalised afternoon radio on the Drive Time show that's going all over the country.
Original afternoon entertainment with me, Sam Delaney.
It's the superior work-to-sofa transmission system with intelligent presenter technology fitted as standard. Delaney, live at Drive.
Tomorrow afternoon from 4.
On Talk Radio, we'll get you talking. Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
It's Iain Lee, it's Talk Radio, 0844 499 1000. We've got the answer phones to come up, Johnny Eccles to come from Love. Catherine is here, you're enjoying the atmosphere of a live iPod roulette game. It's really going down to the wire.
I'm surfing the pleasure wave.
What?
Is what's going on.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't approve of that. It's 1 to me. The Kinks beat the Smiths, but then in round 2 it was 1 to Donna as Pulp beat the Beach Boys. It's the final round. Donna, you've still got your pass.
Exciting.
I've used my pass. It is exciting, Rob. It really is. Donna, hit the shuffle.
Right. The next one we've got.
Oh, beat that, Ian. Oh.
Hey, brothers did all right, didn't they?
Who are these? Is this EMF?
No. It's Blue Monday, isn't it?
Oh, New Order. I hate New Order.
I'm dancing to this one.
Blue Monday.
Oh.
It's an all-time classic.
Monday.
Right.
Reminds me of the roller disco.
What you got, Ian?
I'm hitting the... do you want to... By the way, do you want to play that, Donna?
Yeah.
Because I think I might be able to beat that.
I think that's strong.
I think I might be able to beat that.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Stick with it.
I like it.
It's playing the air guitar.
Stick with it.
Air drums.
Oh. Isn't the right thing to do?
Fleetwood Mac live. Boom. Things that I feel. It's only Go Your Own Way, Fleetwood Mac, The Dance, live now. Let's just get to the chorus. Hang on. Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh baby. Rob, it really is, honestly. He's singing along with my one!
How can you not?
He's singing along. It really is a tough one. It's New Order versus the Mac.
Memories. You see, New Order's got personal memories. That's the thing. But I'm not allowed. Am I supposed to be completely
You've
objective?
got to put the personal memories to one side. It's the song.
It's the trial of the track.
It's the
They're
song.
both classics,
I know.
aren't they?
It's almost impossible.
But I'm going to go. My choice is.
Yes, and I will abide by it, whatever it is.
Are you 100% sure?
I'm 100% sure, because that's the kind of guy I am.
You won't think less of him.
I will think significantly less of him, yes, of course I will, but I will abide by that, and he will be banned for the rest of 2016.
Okay.
No. Rob, it's your call, mate, whatever.
Ban me at the moment.
No, I know, we're not in no position to ban any callers. That's why Russ keeps getting through.
I can't. Oh, Blue Monday's so good, but if it wasn't the live version, if it was the album version,
I know, and that.
Gone with it.
Yeah.
The album version's awesome, but the live version sounded pants. So I'm going to stick with Blue Monday.
Oh.
Donna, well done. Fair play. Fair play, Donna.
It was a fair fight, wasn't it?
It was Donna, you are the reigning champion of iPod Roulette. Feel free to call in at any point and challenge anybody, Donna.
Oh, I will challenge
can I take her on
yes,
at some
I
point?
will.
Can you do what, Rob?
Can I take her on at some point?
Rob, say that again. I can't hear you.
Can I?
Oh, he accidentally got cut off.
Oh.
That happens sometimes. That
I
happens.
think he wanted to take me on.
I know. Would you? I'm going to cut you off before it starts getting mucky. Thank you, Donny. You've been a good sport. There we go. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us.
I mean, how could they?
He's right. It's the live version, and Lindsay Buckingham's vocals are always a little bit ropey on the live versions. Always a little bit ropey.
But still, those harmonies when the chorus hit was.
I don't believe those harmonies were actually created live on stage. I think there was a little bit of sweetening going on. All live albums are touched up. They're touched up in the studio. I couldn't believe that when I found that. All of them are. The last Beach Boys album, the 50th anniversary, it was a good show, right? And they were old men singing, right? And it was beautiful because it was old men singing. But the last live album, I listened to it once, it was all auto-tuned. It was like listening to blooming Transformers singing or something. It was rubbish.
Optimus Prime.
It was rubbish. I couldn't believe it. What a waste of money that was. And I've got the live DVD, and again, 3 tracks in. It's like, I'm not watching. It's like watching a computer game.
There's a reason why they give those away with the mail, isn't there?
No, what? No, I bought that.
No, but they do. The live album. Oh, you get a free Fleetwood Mac album with the mail, and it'll be some dodgy live one.
Well, no, it's because of anyway. It's because of who owns the rights to it. And
you reckon?
Yeah. I do.
Why'd you have to get technical? Just let me have it.
Bobby.
Hello.
Hey, Bobby.
How are you?
I'm remembering the second most horrific film I've ever seen. The most horrific film I've ever seen is Threads, which Kathy Burke, one of Britain's greatest actresses, watched today, apparently, for the first time. She's been very quiet on Twitter. I'm sure she has been, I want to say humiliated, but that's not the word, but I'm going to say it. I'm sure she's been humiliated by just how awful that film is. The second scariest film I ever saw, Bobby, and I've mentioned this before, it was when video recorders first came in, so I would have got one. We got one in 1979, 1980.
Off the back of a lorry.
It was stolen. We had to hide it behind the sofa. I wasn't allowed to tell anybody at school that I had a video recorder, despite the fact that nobody else in my school had a video recorder. So of course,
a secret to carry around.
Of course, I told everybody we had one. Because we had one. And then it broke down, and my dad... I remember the video broke down, and it was massive. It was Betamax, and it was supposed to be a portable one, but it was 2 massive suitcases on top of each other. And I remember him going to some bloke's house with this broken video. So I'll be back in a minute. And he came back half an hour later, furious, saying, well, we lost the video. I have no idea to this day what happened. But I remember taping something late at night on BBC. And this was when parents, Bobby, didn't care what their kids saw. Right?
Well, your parents weren't bothered ever, were
my
they?
parents didn't bother about anything. And it was it was on BBC. It was 3 short stories, each slightly more frightening than the one before. The first story, it was kind of cute. It was about someone who had he had a haunted Rolls Royce or something, and he went back. The Rolls Royce did something, and it went back in time, and I don't know. The second story, a little bit scarier. Vampires. There were vampires in the town. The third story was terrifying. It was called, and this is what reminds me, it was called Bobby. A woman lives alone with her son.
Bobby.
Bobby, on a cliff. Bobby falls off the cliff and is swept out to sea, dead. She conducts a black magic, satanic ritual to bring Bobby back from the dead. She finishes the ritual. There's a knock at the door. It's a very dark, stormy night. She opens the door. There is little Bobby, 6 years old, in his gym jams, pyjamas. She invites him in. They embrace. It's a very powerful moment. Then, very quickly, and I can't quite remember how it escalates so quickly, Bobby tries to kill her. Don't laugh.
What does she do?
Don't laugh. I remember there's a bit where she's got a big knife. He's got a big knife, right? And then the lights go out, and the lights come back on, and Bobby's face is hideously scarred. And he says, Bobby didn't want to come back, Mama. And he stabs her. Now, I watched that, right, at the age of 6. It was the most terrifying thing. You lot are laughing. Great. Well, that's great. It was the most terrifying thing I have ever seen in my life. And I remember thinking, why is my mum letting me watch this? And I still, to this very day...
Blame her.
I blame Bobby. I blame Bobby for the way my life turned out. I blame all Bobbies.
Bobby didn't want to come back.
Bobby didn't want to come back. But Bobby did want to come back, and Bobby is back on the air, and it's great to have you back, Bobby. Please don't stab either myself or Catherine, although it is up for grabs. I don't...
Bobby stabs.
I've only known Ed for a little over 2 weeks.
You're happy to sacrifice me.
I've known Catherine for 4 years. I've known you for a couple of weeks, mate. I'll be honest, I've got no emotional attachment to you whatsoever. I would be sad if you died. I'd be...
You'd be more sad if Kath died, though.
Oh, I'd be devastated. She owes me money. Bobby, you've called in. What have you got for us, Bobby?
I'm watching you on Periscope.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hello, mate.
We're waving like we won a competition.
Yeah.
Kath doesn't look anything like I thought she would.
No,
Let
she
me guess.
sounds like a black man.
No. This is how people think I'm going to be. Fat and blonde.
No, I thought blonde. I didn't think fat, but I thought blonde.
No, I'm not.
This is what I
And
think.
you have a delay of about 15 seconds.
Oh, is that all? I thought it'd be more because
I counted it when you were singing "Go Your Own Way." I counted it. It was about
That's
15 seconds.
I'd suggest getting a life.
Isn't it?
And this is the thing, okay? This is the thing, and you bring us back to the point I made earlier on about the Archers. I don't want to know what my radio people look like. It's like I've heard Ash for years. I used to listen to Ash 20 years ago with Tommy Boyd and with James Whale and with Ian Collins and all those people.
Me too, and that's not him, is it?
That's not the fella that I pictured in my head. I don't want to know what radio people look like.
Yeah. I feel the same.
Okay, well, you shouldn't have watched this on Periscope then, should you, you poor?
That's true.
It's your fault.
Yeah, I called up for missing, sort of losing body parts.
Yes, boss, go on, what you got?
Well...
By the way, can I just say, I'm really having fun tonight.
Yeah,
I think it's partly because I'm high on prescription medication.
I did think that you may have, are you still dry?
Oh yes, I'm as
Dry as a bone.
I'm as dry as a bone. That's the phrase. I was going to say as dry as a goose feather, but then I realised that makes no sense.
No.
But geese, the feathers of the geese are one of the driest feathers known to humankind.
No, if you think about it, they sit in ponds.
I'm on these new antidepressants, and let's just say it really has been. Mr. Keating, the philosopher, was right when he said, "Roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. You've just got to ride it."
Yeah.
And the last 48 hours or so really have been up, down, all around town. Shake it like a Polaroid camera. So yes, I am indeed still clean and sober, but boy oh boy, I'm reminiscing about the old days. What have you got for us, Bobby? What parts of your body have you lost? What parts of Bobby's body has bloody gone?
Well, I've only lost one thing. I lost my big toenail when I was 15.
Okay, yeah, we can put that.
What happened? Did you drop something on it?
Yeah, I dropped a shampoo bottle on it.
What shampoo?
And
Was it Vosine?
No, it was
Timotei.
Tresemme.
Tresemme, yeah, they're heavy.
One of the big bottles.
Yeah,
Massive bottles. My nan, you can have the other knee, because my nan doesn't have a kneecap.
What happened to that?
When she was about 4, she was roller skating across the street, and she tripped, and her knee fell onto the edge of the curb.
Oof.
Just showing
So
people
she now
that-
doesn't have a kneecap.
Does that mean that her knee can bend the other way now because there's nothing stopping it?
I don't know.
Like
but
Dick Van Dyke?
I don't think she's tried.
No, well, she should. She should. Is she still with us?
Yes.
Get her to try it. I mean, maybe the last thing she does, but get her to have a go, because this stuff like this we just
We
can't
need to
waste.
know.
We just cannot waste it.
My cousin lost a little finger.
Oh, your family.
Careless,
really
aren't
is,
they? Careless.
That was at work.
What happened? And did they? How much money did they get for losing that?
He didn't. He's self-employed, so he couldn't really.
Could only blame himself.
Pay himself out.
Yeah. Friend of mine lost his little finger, and he keeps forgetting about it until he tries to scrape things off a chopping board. He says he'll move his hand along, and the carrots will still be there.
Anything else, Bobby?
Not that I can think of right now.
And you would,
I think
and the
that's
thing
enough.
is, you would know, Bobby. Excellent call. Thank you very much indeed. You would know, wouldn't you? 0844 499 1000. No, I stay there. Come to you after this. I've dropped my pen underneath the desk.
It's careless.
Well, it is. I mean, I've got another one. That's all right. That's fine. 08444991000 coming up. We've still got the very first of the answer phone messages. I need to find out what the number is for the answer phone so we can give that out. Maybe people are a little bit shy or they want to do something a little bit different. We'll take calls straight to her after midnight. Then at 12:30 we've got Johnny Eccles from the band Love coming on, which I'm very, very excited about. One of my favourite bands. But we are the home. Hang on a minute, I just paid 79 pence for a version of The Archers that doesn't start at the beginning. Hang on a second. There we go. We are the show, we're the home of Archers fans. Try and put this into a sentence that's actually English. Can you do it for me, Catherine?
We're the home of Archers listeners.
This is the show. This is the show. There is a podcast for the television show The Walking Dead called The Talking Dead. I used to present the podcast for Lost called The Lost Initiative. Well, this show is not quite like that, but it's similar to it. We like to discuss the ins and outs of The Archers.
What are we calling it? The Archer's Elbow.
There we go. Everything's got to have a name with you radio producers. Why can't it just be the place where people... Hang on. Here...
It's the Archer's Elbow.
No, it doesn't. Jonathan from Noah from nowhere near Swansea is on the line. Good evening, Noah.
Hello.
Now, listen. You are an Archers fan, as much as I am. Are you shocked and sickened to find out exactly what Helen and Rob look like in real life?
Not really. Personally, I think Rob is how I would imagine Henry to be if he was 5 years old and didn't have any grey hair.
Yeah, I can do that. I expected Rob to be more powerful.
I expected him to be more like Tony Blair.
Oh.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm trying to picture Tony Blair out of a suit, still in clothes. Yeah, I know. I'd go along with that. John and Noah, not from Swansea. What have we made of the storyline so far?
I'm surprised they pulled the trigger so soon on the stabbing.
No, but they haven't, because he's not dead.
Well, I expected that as well.
Yeah, I knew that.
I mean, you should get a clip of what I said last Friday.
Well, involve work.
Do a little clip on YouTube to show how I sort of predicted what would happen.
Well, you did. Yeah, fair play. We're not going to do that because that would involve work, and we are very, very lazy here at Talk Radio, and I think that will ultimately be our downfall. But you're right. I remember what you said, and you're spot on. I knew he wasn't dead. It was a great episode yesterday, the stabbing episode. It was a great episode. Catherine, you're pulling a face almost as if you haven't been listening.
No, I haven't listened to it.
Why?
Life.
Oh,
I'm generally at work when the Archers is on.
15 minutes a day.
Yeah, when I'm at work.
Get a podcast and listen to it on the way in.
All right, well, I might do.
Oh, hang on, it's the end.
All I know about the Archers is whenever I listen, they're out of breath.
I've got to say, having real trouble lambing those cows.
You didn't help me with these milk bottles. Oh, what?
Wow, that looks great, Pip. Do you need a hand with that, or are you going to be okay?
These bags are so heavy.
I'll get 2 pints, and what's on the menu today? They do a lot of that, don't they, Jonathan?
Yeah, they do.
They do a lot of that. I knew that he wasn't going to be dead, and the thing is, they've pulled the trigger early doors because they can drag this out for another year, because now we're going to have the court case, the trial, if it goes to trial, which I don't think this will.
Or is he going to mess with her?
He's going to mess with her. He's certainly going to try and get... He's adopted Henry, so he is legally Henry's father, so he can take Henry off her.
Oh.
Which... And that's what's going to happen. He's going to turn everybody against her. I reckon, Noah, the whole village is going to be against her, apart from, her sappy friend and maybe her mum. But the whole village is going to think that she has been the perpetrator of the spousal abuse.
Or that she's just a crazy woman.
Or that she's just a crazy woman, as so many of them often are, aren't they, Jonathan?
Yeah, I missed tonight's episode. I've been catching up on reading
pornography.
The latest. I was catching up reading the latest edition of the Judge Dredd Mega Collection because it didn't turn up at my newsagent when it was supposed to last week, so I had to order it off eBay.
Yeah.
Irritating.
Yeah. Well, was it? But so when are you going to listen to the Archers tomorrow lunchtime then?
I'll probably listen to it in the evening.
Okay. Well, you can't listen to the rest of the show because we will be talking about what happened. I don't want to spoil it for you.
I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, what happened was her friend came round, found that he was still breathing, called the police, and then the police came and basically arrested her. Henry went to his grandparents.
Oh, well, first of all, Helen used the wrong knife. You used the steak knife. You also plunge it in the heart, and you have to do it in the right order, or because Rob is apparently possessed by an evil spirit or something. And what was that dozy? What was that dozy friend of hers doing? Not, making sure he was dead.
What's the right order to... so use a steak knife. What's the right order to stab someone, then, if they're possessed?
I don't know, you have to... I read it somewhere in Frankie Boyle's autobiography about how someone botched a similar attempt on Margaret Thatcher.
Right.
Gosh.
You really are a revelation, Jonathan. Good to talk to you. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Ta-ta, ta-ta. We'll speak soon.
Is he real?
Yeah. Andrea.
Hello.
Hey, Andrea.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you okay?
I am. Are you still having a high?
I'm kind of I've got the munchies now.
I must be honest, I was on the same medication as you, and I used to get high as well.
Oh, does it last? I don't want it to last, because it was not a pleasurable high.
I had an allergic reaction to it, so I ended up in an ambulance, so...
Oh, flippin'.
It wasn't a pleasant high.
I'm quite sensitive to these antidepressants. I was on, like a really low dosage of sertraline for a while, which is quite a popular one. And that was when I went nuts. You remember when I went nuts?
Mm.
And I was in a terrible state. I was just there. My legs were just twitching the whole time. Twitchy legs for the whole time. I was only on it for maybe 6-7 weeks, and they took me off it because I was, I don't know.
That's what I take.
And everyone, I know loads of people that take that, and they say they're fine with it, and they get on fine with it. But I just, I went funny. Was I asleep? I can't remember what. I was a bit zombified.
Yeah, you were very kind of
vacant,
closed off.
Yeah,
and jumpy legs.
Really jumpy legs. I remember lying in bed and just thinking, I've got to get up and walk this off.
Mm.
Well, it's only the first week. I'm still on citalopram, and this is kind of to complement it to help me sleep a little bit. But we'll see. It's only the first week. I'll give it a month or so and see how we get
they say a month to 6 weeks.
Yeah, but I've had boggly eyes, and I don't like the boggly eyes. It does remind me of the 90s. Anyway, Andrea, what you got for us?
Well, you already mentioned the suppositories.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We're going to do a suppository special, weren't we, or something?
Andrea wanted to talk about them, so let's let her.
Okay, yeah, let's let her.
Oh, no, it was just the one thing that you buy and only use one.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Andrea.
Dearie me.
You're right, though. She's right.
Myself.
She's not wrong.
Dearie me.
I couldn't help myself.
Well,
and also, I've lost a part of my body as well.
Oh, go on, what you lost?
I've lost the nerves out of my foot.
So we'll have a foot.
We'll have a foot. What? How have you lost your nerves?
I had something called a Morton's neuroma, where the nerve became exposed.
Ooh.
And they had to take the nerve out.
Wowzers. How do they take the nerve out? I'm imagining that there's like let me just finish this. I'm imagining that there's like a little hole in your foot, and it's like a little black thread coming out.
Pull
and
a
you
string.
pull it, and you pull it,
Go.
and you pull it,
kind of,
and you pull it, and it's like, and that's how you do it. Is that what happened?
More or less. I've got a scar on the top of my foot, and as of today, I've got a black plastic splint boot as well because I've got issues with it.
Mate, issues. Hang on a second. I can do this. Hang on. She's got issues with shoes.
She's
got issues. It's issues.
Yeah.
Do you mind us mocking you like this, Andrea?
No, do I?
Okay. She's got
do I
issues with the dishes tissues.
Oh, nice.
In her shoes.
Mm.
There's something there.
Work on it.
There's something there, Andrea. You can take that and take it to your support group and throw it around. Maybe they can come up with something. So have you got that thing where you could stab a fork in your foot?
Stop it.
No, but
can you splash a hot bath on it and no one will?
Well, it's only part of my foot, but the part of the foot where there's no nerves, I have no feeling in that whatsoever.
Oh, blimey! I mean that.
Flippin'
I'm trying to think of a scenario where that could be helpful.
Well, there are very, very few scenarios. I can think of one or two.
Firewalking.
Well, only if it's underneath. Is it underneath? I imagine on the top of your foot.
It's both. It's to cut the top of the foot to take the nerve out from the
This is beautiful.
Yowzers.
Oh, then there's loads then. There's loads then.
Firewalking, glass walking.
Russian roulette in the foot.
Yeah.
Shot in the foot.
I don't think they play it like that.
Well, you could, or if you're just with some, you're with some. Okay, you get taken by. You're in Syria, and you get captured. Right? Heaven forbid this ever happens, Andrea.
Don't go to Syria.
You get captured by the old IS boys, right? And
I'll talk them to death.
Well, possibly. You and Kath both, and you say, "You don't want to mess with me, Daesh." And they'll be like, why are you calling us Daesh?
How rude.
How rude are you? What are you doing? Why are you
Why
calling
are they
us Daesh?
Chinese?
Oh. You say, you don't want to mess with me because I am tough. I can't. Where do you come from, Andrea?
Where do I come from? Rochdale.
Rochdale. I'm Rochdale hard, I am. I'm Andrew from Rochdale.
Are you doing my voice now?
I'm Rochdale hard. What do you mean, Rochdale hard? What is this, Rochdale hard? You say, right, you see that knife over that? Give us that knife, right, give us it. And then you take your shoe off, right, you go, watch this, fellas. Hey, have that! And then you stab yourself through the foot. Make sure you get the foot that is the one that's got no nerves in.
While looking them in the eye.
Look them in the eye, and then your foot is impaled on the floor, and you lift your foot up, and the knife goes right through it into the floor. And they look at you, and they cack their pants. And you go, right, here you go, here's your knife, right, have that, fella.
Next question.
See that door? I'm walking through it, and you're leaving me alone. We're all like that in Britain, IS, so don't mess with us, all right? We will not have it over here. Right, Daesh? Have it. You have it. We won't have it. And you walk out, and then that's the end. And that's the whole movement collapses because of your foot, Andrea. So it could be used for good.
It could be.
Okay.
So there's a.
I notice you're not volunteering to go and do that now.
No, I haven't got a passport at the moment.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's a good enough reason to allow the war on terror to continue.
It's good that we're national now because you can do my voice to anyone who rings up from the north, can't you?
0844 499 1000. Don't call for a second, but store that number in your phone. When we come back, we're going to play the first collection of answer phone messages, and then we'll take the call straight to air. And then at past, we've got Johnny Eccles. I honestly, the band Love. Do yourself a favour. Go and buy Forever Changes on CD. It is simply one of the most beautiful albums of all time. This is Iain Lee, and this is Talk Radio. Yes. Hello to everybody that's watching on Periscope. If you look for Iain Lee on Periscope, I guess that's how it comes up. I don't really understand it, but some of you have been there for the whole evening, you strange people. If you're listening at home on DAB, online, on your app or whatever, that's wonderful. If you're listening to the podcast, that's kind of cool. We're going to take calls straight to air now for the next 30 minutes or so. 0844 499 1000. Now, I did set up a little phone number that people... No, I didn't wash my hands. I didn't have time to wash my hands. Sorry, guys, I didn't. Sorry. Next person that uses this will be Paul Ross, so he's used to it. Now, steady. Now, I set up a phone number, and I can't remember what the phone number is. So if anyone remembers it, if you could tweet it, and I'll put it out there. And then I set this phone number up like about 6 weeks, a couple of months before this show started, and I was hoping that it would kind of be caught on the wind, and that people would go, oh, there's a phone number, and it says to phone it. We'll phone it. A few did, but not very many. And I think half the people knew what it was, knew that it was me. I don't know how. Half didn't. So we got some. And I'd forgotten about it, and then Geeky Girl said, why don't you have a phone number where people can phone up and leave messages? And I was like, yeah, I've got a phone number where we can do that. So I don't know what the phone number is. I'll tell you tomorrow. I can find it. It's on my phone. My phone is set up doing the Periscope. But I went on there today for the first time, and I listened to a lot of the messages, and I put them together and I collated it. And you may need to ride the levels a little bit, Ed, because levels is not my forte when it comes to editing. But this is the first batch of answer phone messages.
Hi, it's Dan off the internet. I just thought I'd phone and say Hello. I'm putting on a DJ voice. Can I have a job, please? Sorry. Bye.
Hello, this is Louis Bath, the radio critic of the Lady magazine. I've been told to call you. I have no idea why. But I don't know. Call me. It says on your Twitter account. Nancy Wilson did the best version. Mark it well. Note well. Godspeed.
Hello, I thought I'd call you. I'm doing the washing up at the moment.
Anyway, I'd like to see you again, Belinda. If you could wear them sandals, you know the ones with the butterfly on the clasp. Oh, you did look a sort. See you later, Linda.
What do you call an Irishman bouncing off a wall? Ricochet.
And that is the first group of phone calls. I've got the phone number here as well, actually, now. It is 020-8133-6732. 020-8133-6732. No one will ever answer that phone. It's so unlikely anyone will ever answer that phone. If it is, it'll be because I'm at home and I've got Skype open on that channel, which I won't have, and I'll be bored. So I won't. The odds of it happening are very, very slim, but generally you'll just leave a message and you're more than welcome to do that.
Right. Did I hear someone give that, like, call up as if they'd been given that number in town one night?
Sounded like it.
That's a good trick. Maybe we should give out that number if you meet someone in town that you don't want to see.
Or we can let Scott Mills carry on with his stolen act, which is what he does.
Oh, he does that. Okay.
He does that, but he probably nicked it from someone else, as most of his act is indeed half-inch from, well, some of it's from me, some of it's from radio presenters around the world. 0844 499 1000. We'll take your call straight to air. If this works, we might need you, Ed. Let's try. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello, my lovely.
It works! Hello, is that Emma?
Yeah.
Hey, Emma, what you got for us?
First of all, the number that you got a phone is 020...
Oh, yeah.
81...
Yep.
33...
Yep.
6732.
Boom. Thank you. 1,000 thank yous would never be enough.
I've been to the doctor's today.
Oh, yeah? And what happened? Well, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I realise it's quite a personal question.
No, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm on antidepressants now.
Boom. Okay. Yeah. And how do you feel about that? You okay with that?
Yeah, because Thursday... Well, it started from Thursday because I ended up in hospital for 10 hours.
Oh, blimey.
Because I went to my doctors and they're really, really concerned about me.
Yeah.
And there was no psych team or anyone. So they actually told me that I had to go to A&E. So I spent 10 hours in A&E. And then on the Friday night, I had the crisis team come out. They come out at 12:30 in the morning. And then they checked me out. And then I went to the doctor's today, so it's been really, really busy.
Yeah. Busy's good. Busy can be good.
But you made me cry tonight.
Oh, go on. With which bit? I would say, and I've been thinking about this a lot, That iPod roulette was very, very suspicious at the end. Very, very suspicious at the end, because I'm certainly going to go home and cry.
No, it's when you started singing. You know, when you were doing your singing.
Yeah,
and you made me cry.
Hopefully because it was so good.
Yeah.
There we go, Emma. Thank you. Listen, it's good to talk to you. Give the pills 4, 5, 6 weeks, because it takes a while for it to kick in.
Yeah, they've already said that it will take that time and that I could get low before then. And they said that I could have suicidal thoughts being on them as well.
I was telling you this the other day, Kath. One of the side effects of antidepressants is you may feel suicidal. How nuts is that? Isn't it? Kath shaking her head in disgust.
Well, no disbelief, really. It's supposed to be, helping you.
Sorry. You're calling me and Emma liars?
No.
The reason why, because although that you're on them, it takes about 4 to 5 weeks
to balance.
To actually balance it all out. So, like, you think that you wouldn't be suicidal, but I don't want to be downhearted today because I've had all my tears and everything else, and
there might be a few more. There might be a few more. Emma, listen.
I know there will be a few more, but today I got a little smile.
There you go. Well, that's a victory. Count the victories, Emma. Listen, it's good to talk to you. Thank you very much for your call. I really appreciate it. Hang in there. Let's go to line 2. 2, you're on the wireless.
Hi, it's James from Sheffield. I was talking to Howard Hughes last evening.
Yes, I remember the Marilyn Monroe call.
Can we play that again? Because there might be some people who didn't listen. But Howard Hughes,
It was an interesting call.
Howard Hughes, I think, is flipping brilliant. We love the show. It's certainly better than the 3-hour EU specials they're having on LBC at the moment. What the heck is going on with that nonsense? Anyway, so I was listening to the show last night. It was a really interesting piece about remote viewers, and it's not to do with your Skybox, or as everyone was saying on Twitter. It was where they get...
You sit in a room and imagine stuff. No, you see things from afar. Yeah. They imagine stuff.
And anyway, this Muppet phones up.
Can you still hear us? Yes,
hang on a
minute. Can you hear me, Howard? I can, and we've got a caller on for you. James is online. James, you're on Talk Radio. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. Just want to say, first of all, great show. Really enjoying it so far.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
By the way, this is a masterclass in how to do a prank call, Rob.
Sneaky compliment to start with, so they feel comfortable.
Get in there with a compliment.
Courtney Brown is in the US. Courtney, can you still hear us?
Yes, I
can. Can you take the finger from the dump button?
Yeah, exactly.
Courtney Brown is in the US. Courtney, can you still hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, Howard?
I can, and we've got a caller on for you. James is online. James, you're on Talk Radio. Good evening.
There we go.
Good evening, gentlemen. Just want to say, first of all, great show. Really enjoying it so far.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. The remote viewing, I came across this. I studied at Sheffield Hallam University, and it was kind of pulled through from some aspects of a sort of a conspiracy group that I joined initially, and it was,
he's saying all the
9/11.
all the right words to get Hughes on side.
But then did some reading.
The detail I really like.
So, were you studying this academically, James?
I was actually studying business studies. And I fell into sort of group and learned quite a bit about, remote viewing and the powers. And then, there was sort of stories about
remote
the
viewing and the powers.
And certain people said they'd been and seen what actually happened. And obviously that's a real interest peak. I think whatever side of the fence you're on, you're going to be interested.
Were you convinced by the stories?
Here it comes.
Well, at first not, but as I dive deeper and deeper, I think the thing that sort of turned it for me is one guy actually said, he'd been involved with someone who'd done it in Phoenix, in the States, and they pulled it through, and they could confirm people on the grassy knoll to the extent of a description, in terms of an actual trajectory of the bullets. And then he actually told me, other things as well, which seemed at the time to be a bit strange.
Like what, James?
What he actually told me was that Marilyn Monroe,
he starts to giggle.
He told me that she was as hairy as a 1960s porn star. Like a lawn. And it's hard to believe that sort of thing, because she always seemed like she shaved, but no, hairy.
James, thank you for that. You've got a question for Courtney Brown. Let's get back to the point, yeah? Well, we've lost him. Okay. Courtney Brown, this is obviously the kind of thing that sometimes you get.
Now,
He was going to let you do a question, Rob.
Rob, did you hang up, or did they cut you off?
I literally, honestly, I hung up because I was giggling and I thought he was going to have a go at me, and my girlfriend had just walked in, and I was like, "Hello."
Well, you've lost 5 points because he was going to give you another chance.
You could have done another.
You could have done a question. I was so uncomfortable listening to that because I recognised your voice straight away. I don't condone prank calls to anyone apart from Julia Hartley Brewer, and who deserves them. But it was Paul. I felt so uncomfortable.
He's a pro, though. He knew how to.
Oh, Howard, of course. Howard Hughes is a legend. Well done, Rob. I mean, no, not well done. I mean, shame on you, Rob, for trying to sabotage a new show
programme
on a new station. That's outrageous behaviour.
It's like Thursday at school, though, giving him a little head rub and saying, "Hey, you're one of us."
Well, yeah.
What if he sees it like that?
I felt so bad for him. 0844 499 1000.
Talk Radio. Digital debate for the UK.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
Rivalries, rebellions and battles. War has been waged for the Iron Throne, which you can get with the new season of Game of Thrones from just £20 a month when you join Sky TV with the original bundle. And get a free 32-inch LG TV so you can see every battle and every betrayal. Seize your chance by April 21st. Search Sky Bundles. Sky. Believe in better.
Direct debit subject to status. Upfront £10 standard setup. Minimum contract and further terms apply.
If you're a small or medium-sized business owner, then you should be pushing your profile in Portugal and boosting your bottom line in Brazil. Listen to Talk Radio's Breakfast Business Bulletins this Thursday morning and learn about exporting your products or services overseas. Search thousands of live export opportunities, find local events, and get expert advice to help achieve your business ambitions at exportingisgreat.gov.uk. The demand is out there. You could be too.
Get it straight from Selco. At Selco Builders Warehouse, you can already expect to get a massive range of products in stock, all at great trade prices. Now we've made things even better by introducing Selco Hire at every branch, so you can now hire your building tools and equipment from Selco too. In April, hire a pass-load cordless first fix nailer for just £35 per week ex-VAT. Find your local Selco Hire branch at hire.selcobw.com. Get it straight from Selco.
Selco.
It's where the trades go.
Did your husband accidentally transfer the contents of your joint account to a Nigerian prince called Trust Me Good Man? Perhaps you bought diet pills on the internet that made you frightened to cough. Or maybe your exotic mail-order bride turned out to be a Ukrainian pig farmer called Igor.
When the con is on, you need a man who's on it. Listen to the Radio Hustle with scam-busting supremo Alexis Conran and get the inside track on all the latest swindles, schemes, tricks and traps the fraudsters are using to get their hands on your cash.
Get tipped off, not ripped off. The Radio Hustle with Alexis Conran, enemy of the con man.
Saturday afternoon from 1 on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
The Sun will have Johnny Eccles from Love in about 12 minutes. And honestly, a lot of people have said I wasn't looking forward to the interviews. Because I'd never heard of these people a lot of the time, but that they've really enjoyed them, and that's kind of, we're getting at the moment. We're just getting people that I really, really, really like, and I'm kind of fawning over them a little bit, and I flipping love. Arthur Lee sadly no longer with us, but Johnny Eccles is a legend. And they're on tour soon. I must get the tour dates up. The Sun does this with Gaza, and they've done it with Kenny Sampson. Now Kenny Sampson, I don't know anything about him. I know he's a footballer. And I know that he used to host a programme on LBC. That's all I know about him. I also know he's a boozer.
Right.
And by boozer, I mean he's a severe alcoholic. And the Sun seem to take great delight in these headlines. Sampson's left back on the bottle.
Oh.
And they got a picture of him, this poor soul who has got a disease of addiction, sat at a gambler, one-armed bandit, with a bottle of wine in his hand. And then they got a picture of him slumped in an alleyway. Now...
That's going to help him, isn't it?
Why would you take Why would you obviously follow him around, knowing that he's an alcoholic? Follow him around with that bottle of wine. I couldn't watch someone do that. I'd go up and have a word and say, "You're right, mate. Look, tell me to mind my own business. But is there anything? Do you want to go and get something to eat and have a chat?" They followed him around, knowing that he's going to end up in that condition. I mean, they've had pictures in the past of him asleep on park benches and stuff. I just think it's outrageous. Fallen England footy hero Kenny Sampson admits he is losing his booze battle after being found drunk face down in an alleyway.
Yeah, and you're dancing on it.
The tormented idol fell off the wagon. I don't even want to read the story. Right, what it is sick man is exploited. Man with a disease is exploited by scumbag newspaper. That's all that is. I just think it's disgusting. I don't even want to read the story, because it's a story of misery and heartbreak, and one man who the son won't be happy until he's dead. And then they go, well, we
Well, then they'll say what a terrible shame it was and what a waste.
Shame. You see a fella. I don't know. It really, stuff like that breaks my heart and really gets me angry as well. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hi, Ian.
Hello, Line 1.
It's Alan.
Alan
Caddick.
Oh, Alan Caddick. Not a clue.
How are you?
I'm all right, buddy. What have you got for us?
I've got something to ask you.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Can I book some time off this Wednesday, Thursday and Friday?
The answer's going to be no, but carry on.
Because I'm going on holiday.
Whereabouts? You're not going on holiday to London, are you?
No, Liverpool.
Oh, in that case, fine. Yeah, carry on, yeah.
Because I'm going to see the Grand National.
Yeah?
And I've got a tip for you.
Right.
The Last Samurai is going to win the National.
The Last Samurai. The Last Samurai is going to win the Grand National.
He's currently trading at 12-1 at the moment.
Right, and it's okay. So 12-1, that means if you put a pound on, you get £12 back, plus your pound
13.
bet. Yeah, okay. So how much money are you going to put on it then? If you know it's going to win, I'm guessing you're going to put, what, £5,000, £10,000 on?
I'm going to put a monkey on.
What's that, 25
That's,
quid?
that's 500, isn't it?
Yeah, monkey's 500.
Oh.
So you do the maths, Boyle Box. 5,000.
So
at 12-1.
5 12s.
No, 500 at 12-1.
Yeah. So do 5 12s and then add a note on the end.
5,600 pounds.
Oh, well, I'll pay for the holiday, won't it?
What, to Liverpool? Yeah, of course it will. Where are you staying? Travelodge?
I'm staying at the Marlborough Hotel in Crosby.
Okay.
Classic.
Very, very classy. You can't knock that. How do you
It's
know?
a better breakfast.
Oh, in that case, how do you know it's going to win, Alan?
I've been studying the form.
Right. Oh, yeah,
He's got system.
because of course you can study the form with horse racing, because it's not all a load of old bullshine, is it?
No, because he did win the Grimthorpe Chase at Doncaster.
Right. Yeah.
And that was on good soft going.
Okay. What day is the race? Saturday.
Yeah, 5:15.
Okay. Now I won't be watching it. I won't be looking at the results in the newspaper the next day. So we will have to wait until Monday to find out whether you've won £5,500 or you've lost 500.
I've got an idea. If he wins, we pass him on to Howard Hughes, because he's obviously got special powers.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Who's Howard Hughes?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Howard Hughes? Who's Howard Hughes?
Well, but why don't you just spend the 500 quid on going to a nice hotel in Liverpool, have a couple of really nice nights, and get a nice meal?
Well, I'm going there for 3 days of racing, Ian.
Okay, yeah. But again, because I tell you what, Alan.
So you're going to spend more than 500 quid, aren't you?
I'm taking £1,000.
Oh.
You're taking your gran? That'd be nice for her.
£1,000.
Okay. That horse isn't going to win.
Well, who do you think's going to win the national then?
I don't know. Iain, other horse. What if the horse came off? Oh, Catherine, please. Supposing the rider comes off. Oh, please, would you stop it? I'm trying
More
to
than
make
one will.
serious
Guarantee
point
it.
here.
Well,
Once they get those whips out, they all come off.
Well, then the jockey will get banned for excessive use of the whip.
Well, it might not be excessive, but if you just seriously, some people just decide the whip and they come off.
But like I say, if the horse falls and breaks its leg, they'll have to put it down.
Why? This is what I don't understand. Why do you have to shoot a horse when it's got a broken leg?
No good for running anymore, are they?
Well, no, but why have you got to shoot it?
Well, but, I mean, it happened to Shergar, didn't it?
No, we don't know what happened to Shergar.
I know what happened to it. He turned into sausage meat.
It turned into cottage meat. Thank you very much, Alan.
Thank you.
Who was that? Did you hear that at the end? Someone said, right, finish now.
Was that not you?
No, there was someone there. That was weird, wasn't it? Why do they have to shoot? They shoot horses, don't they?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I don't know, but I would think that it's all big money, isn't it? And it'll end up costing them loads of money.
The argument they say is, well, a horse's leg can't heal because it can't stand on it.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, sir, I'm going to build.
Your stomach?
Yes, it is. I'm going to build a horse harness that holds a horse just like half an inch off the ground to heal the leg.
Or you attach wheels like they do with dogs.
Oh man, there's nothing better than seeing a dog. In fact, it's almost worth chopping the back legs off of a dog.
I mean it's not worth that.
And attaching wheels to it to see. I don't get a lot of things. Sport I don't get. Well, what am I even talking about? Horse racing isn't a sport.
Oh, it is.
So is it, Flip? And all that thing the other day.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Have you really, though?
Yes.
Have you ridden a horse fast?
I mean, yeah, well, I'm going to say yes.
No, you haven't.
What's your definition of fast?
Well, when it's running.
No.
No, well.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Right.
It's hard. There's a skill to it.
Right. Well, okay. There's a skill to painting.
There's a skill to staying on. Never mind steering it over jumps.
There's a skill to staying on lots of things, Catherine. Don't make them sports.
Yeah, but you think snooker's a sport?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do.
It's not. It's a pub game.
Remember they wanted to make.
I think you have to sweat, don't you?
We are filling for time, isn't we?
You have to sweat for it to be a sport.
They wanted to make bridge a sport recently. No. That's not a sport in the slightest.
No.
But why? I don't understand the going to horse race. I don't understand gambling. I've been to play roulette a few times, and roulette's different because you can actually have a system to roulette and you can win. Well, no.
No, you can't.
Well, okay. Explain this. First time I ever went to a casino with my good friend Paul Garner, who we mentioned on the show already. I won enough money to take my then girlfriend to Prague for the weekend and to stay in a very swanky hotel, simply by playing roulette.
Yes, you were lucky.
No, it wasn't. I worked out a system straight away.
No, there isn't a system. There isn't a system.
I'm in there straight away. Bishy bashy boshy. I've got a system.
What was your system?
Well, here's the system. Don't bet on the numbers. Forget you put a little bit on the numbers, but put a number. You can put it on 4 numbers at once. Do that because that kind of covers any losses you might make. Right. Line 1.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, you're about to hear my system.
Don't follow it.
Oh, go.
It won't win.
It will.
No, go on. I'll follow this. I'll put money on this. Go on.
Right,
No.
so don't put like a chips on one number. Put it on the corner. So you've got 4 numbers if you want to do that. A couple of those scattered around. Look at the form. On the side, it will tell you what the numbers have come up and what colour they were. Right? If you see a table where black has come up 12 times, put 20 quid on red. Black comes up again. Put 40 quid on red. Black comes up again. Put a ton on red.
What?
Boom. Double your money. 200 quid.
Assuming you've got a gazillion pounds, because sooner or later you're going to run out of money.
And then someone will phone in and say, oh yeah, but it resets itself. But every time it goes round, it resets itself. So it doesn't matter if it was red 1,000,000 times before. The odds of it being red and black are still exactly the same. They're not.
Why is Alan Bennett phoning?
No, they're not. They're not. Anyway, line 1, what you got for us, boss?
The show's brilliant tonight. I'm loving it.
Oh.
Really good.
Oh. Is that it?
And the Periscope thing. I've been watching on Periscope.
Oh, I forgot about that. You suckers. You suckers. We might do it again. I don't know.
You should do it once a week. I know, like, every night. You can't do it every night, but once a week, that'd be really good.
We might do. I'm never quite sure what the benefit of Periscope is, but I'm also aware that this is a brand new station and I'm in a brand new show, and I'm keen to get people interacting in whatever way that is at the moment, you know. But we'll see.
Well, the sound is surprisingly good. I can hear the callers perfectly and everything.
I've got the headphones right up against the speaker, and now we know that works. Listen, I've got to go because we've got our guest coming on. You give us a call earlier next time, Catherine. Through you go. Go on. Is it Los Angeles you're phoning? California. That Los Angeles is in California. Isn't that exciting, dear listener? Don't bother calling in because I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes geeking off with one of my guitar heroes.
do. And I will be alone again tonight.
Oh man, it is just. I remember the first time I heard. Listen to this guitar. Listen to this guitar. Oh, listen to it. Listen to it. Listen to it. All right, here. This is the best intro to any song ever. Right. And the guy that played it is on the phone now, Mr. Johnny Eccles. Good evening, Johnny.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh man, how the hell are you doing, sir? Are you all right?
I'm doing fantastic.
How? Listen, we're going to plug the gigs. We're going to talk about all the bits and pieces. That's you doing that wonderful acoustic intro into Alone Again Or, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Like, how do you do it? I have seen so many bands try and play that piece, and they can't get it right. Very, very few people can pull that off. How did you kind of come up with it in the studio?
Well, we were noodling. Actually, when we first started doing Alone Again, it was going to be on a banjo. It was going to be kind of a bluegrassy song.
Wow.
And neither of us Brian or I could play banjo, so we were trying to figure it out and deciding whether we should bring a studio banjoist in or what. And so I'm sitting over in the corner kind of noodling, doing Spanish riffs, and we decided that we would do it that way because normally there wouldn't have been the introduction that we did. That would have been part of the hook, actually.
Yeah.
And we decided to change it and introduce it that way. And Brian would have initially played it, but he plays with real heavy thumb and finger picks. And when he did it, you could hear it clicking against the top of the guitar. So we decided that I would do it, and that's why it's so soft, because I'm playing with the pads of my fingers, basically.
Yeah.
So,
and it's an amazing thing. Let's go back a little bit. For those who don't know, you are again the lead guitarist with Love, and Love has kind of become Arthur Lee in history, but there were so many more people involved with Love, weren't there? It was you,
absolutely.
it was Brian McLean, it was Arthur, it was Snoop. There were kind of like 7 or 8 of you at one point, weren't there?
Well, yeah, at one point there were 7 of us, but the lineup really was Brian, Kenny, Michael Stewart, and myself and Arthur as lead vocalist, and then we added our friend DJ Contrelli on saxophone and flute, and Snoopy kind of moved over to keyboards, but it became kind of unwieldy traveling around with a 7-piece group and all of the expenses involved, so we pared it down to the original 5 members.
And when Love got together, who were kind of the bands that you were playing with back in the day? Who would you kind of be sharing dressing rooms with?
Oh, we played with Iron Butterfly, the Doors. Well, we played with the Doors often because they were kind of they were good friends of ours, and as a matter of fact, we were the ones that got them their record deal. But we played with the Doors and the Chocolate Watch Band, Electric Prunes, Strawberry Alarm Clock, and the Seeds. So we played with so many different groups from that period.
And is it right that you got the Doors their record contract with Elektra?
Yes, we did. We had been offered a huge deal with MCA, and we thought, well, if we hook Elektra up with the Doors, they might let us out of our contract, which was kind of stupid, but we were kids. And so we did that, and Jack Holtzman, the president of Elektra Records, he did not like the Doors at all. The first time he came to see them at the Whiskey, Jim was on a bender. I mean, he was really loaded, and he was forgetting the words, and it was just a mess. And so he was upset with us for bringing him all the way from New York to hear that.
Yeah.
And then we talked and got him to come back a second time, and he hated them even more. And I don't know how we managed to do that, but we got him to come back a third time, and that was with Paul Rothschild. And this time the Doors were playing with Iron Butterfly, and Jim was on his best behavior, and they played a wonderful set, and Jack Holtzman and Paul Rothschild, they got it, and they signed the Doors.
At the time, Love were huge. The Doors would open for you. I mean, the band The Doors, and I'm sure Doors metaphorically opened as well. And you had queues around the block to come and see you play, didn't you?
Yes, we did. It was strange how that community took that one group to heart, and I really don't understand why. We were a good group, but there were a lot of good groups, but for some reason it was just that everyone connected with us, sort of like Bernie Sanders, I guess, where everybody kind of connected with us, and from that point on, the more people started coming, the more it snowballed, and it just became the end thing to be at a love gig.
And a weird-looking group, because it was, if not the first, certainly one of the first mixed-race groups.
Yes, it was.
And you all, as well as being different colours, you all looked weird in your own way, and I hope you'll take that in the way that it's intended. You were all individuals.
Yes, we were. And we had been I had been playing guitar for a long time, and I was in a group with Billy Preston, and I'd played with Jimi Hendrix when he was Jimmy James. So we'd been around the block for quite a while, from, being like 14 or 15 when I started playing in clubs and things. So we kind of wanted to put together our own look, and so we kind of did an amalgam of things that were popular in Hollywood at the time, kind of a freedom where everybody dressed in the manner that was, that they felt comfortable with. I'll put it that way.
Well, Arthur Lee, who I never had the pleasure of interviewing him, but I saw him live. I don't know, maybe 6 times. I danced with him once. He was, let's just say he was very relaxed after a gig one night.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and he came off stage, and he was. I think it may have been the first time he kind of came to London as part of his comeback, and he was overjoyed by the reception that he got, and he came off stage and was dancing with me, and it was just a joy to meet. But he took the look to extremes, didn't he? In the 60s, he had the different coloured glasses, and he didn't wear shoes.
Right, no, he wore one glove and sometimes one boot or no shoes. But that was the thing. Arthur loved being in the spotlight. He loved attention. So anything that he could do to draw attention to himself, that's what he did. And so sometimes we would play on stage and he's wearing a heavy fur coat and it's in the middle of summer, I'm thinking, how the hell can he do that? But he did. So that was his thing. He just loved being in the spotlight, and he, he served us well by being in the spotlight.
What was he like to work with? I've read a lot of interviews with him. I spoke to you before a few months ago. You may not remember, but I've read a lot of interviews with him, and from kind of like the 70s onwards, he came across as certainly as being very bullish and being quite an angry man. Is that the Arthur that you knew?
No, absolutely. I've known Arthur. I knew him my whole life, as a matter of fact. Our families go back before we were even born, before our parents were born. So we go back a long way. And I've known Arthur, as a very nice, very pleasant, soft-spoken guy. And that's the Arthur that I knew. He was never, ever a bully, never this loud-mouthed, arrogant character that people kind of associate him as being. But, he developed a persona, the more he played, he had developed this facade, and that was this kind of recalcitrant rock guy that, would just tell people to go to hell and get out of his face. This mean-spirited kind of guy. But as I said, that was just an affectation. That wasn't who he really was. And when you were around him and you were alone or with friends, or he was never like that. He was a polite gentleman, well-spoken, soft-spoken, very, very intelligent, very world-aware, and not at all the person that people thought they knew from just, from interviews and word of mouth, people saying how they thought he was, or, sometimes his stage acts. But as I said, that wasn't the real Arthur.
Him and Brian McLean were the main songwriters of the group. How did they get on, and how did they decide which songs, whose songs would get on an album?
Well, what would happen is we'd come together as a group. We lived in a place we called the Castle, and every day we'd get together and rehearse and practice and go over songs. And it would be kind of a democratic thing. We'd listen to the songs and decide which song we could play as a group, we could add something to, and turn the words. Basically, what Arthur would present us with are words, and Brian sometimes added chords to it, but basically they are very rudimentary songs. And then the rest of the members would add this or add their perspective and put something to it, and after a while, back and forth, it became a song. And they were both basically on an even keel, but Arthur's songs just had more of a feel that was more of, let me see, we just thought they were more commercial. They had something that we felt that people could relate to and that were sellable. And listening to Brian's songs, he had this, chocolate-covered rainbows, this kind of optimistic view of things that, were nice songs, but they weren't necessarily the kind of songs that people were going to go out and buy. So he had a few, like Alone Again and Softly to Me and a couple of other ones that he did that were really, really wonderful songs. But for the most part, Brian's songs were in a different place. I'll just put it that way. So Arthur's had more of a rock thing to them, but also it was just something that fit in with the type of persona that we were trying to portray to the world, kind of a folkish, folk rockish rock and roll with a tinge of blues in there. And so that's why Arthur's songs prevailed.
Johnny, I've got to pay the rent. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just stay there because we want to. The Love in a new incarnation is coming to the UK in a few months. Stay there. More from Johnny Eccles from Love after this. This is Iain Lee talking to Johnny Eccles, lead guitarist from Love. Johnny, it's such an honour to talk to you. I've been listening. Can I play you a little clip of?
Absolutely.
This is you. This is on the Forever Changes expanded edition. Have a listen to this. This is Your Mind and We Belong Together, and this is the end. I don't know if you've heard this. Hang on, let me just press play on here. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And then Arthur comes in.
Man, I don't understand your trip, man. You stay in one range of the guitar, throw out the whole thing, man. Because, you're the one that said you can blow in the studio, man. Nobody to bug.
Oh, yeah, I remember that well.
Eccles, I don't know your trip, man. That's Arthur, basically, cracking the whip a bit.
That's beautiful. Now, the thing was, we probably played that song probably about, 70, 80 times. And after you play the same, you see, we didn't have the multi-track thing back then. We played live. So each time you played, everybody played together. My fingers were getting tired. I'm getting tired of the song. I'm tired of being there. And we keep playing this song over and over and over again. So I was beginning to phone it in. So Arthur kind of pulled me out of my malaise, I guess, and said, man, you got to do better than this. Basically, that's what he's saying, man, because when we were alone, he's always saying, man, you're such a fine guitar player, man. We need to put you out there more, and you should do more solo work. And I'm saying, yeah, man, let's do that. And so here was my opportunity to shine, and I'm kind of not shining. So Arthur's letting me know, dude.
What's interesting, Johnny, is that is a brilliant guitar solo. But
the last one, yeah.
He wanted more. He wanted more.
Yes. Well, Arthur heard me play when we were just noodling around the house, and he knew I could throw down when, I felt like it. So I'm one of those guys that I play according to how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling good, I'm going to play great. If not, it's just, I'm just, a guitar player sometimes. So, I can be a really spectacular guitar player, or I can be a guy playing a guitar. It just depends on the mood and how I'm feeling.
Can I play you one more clip or one more thing? I've got this. This is I don't know if you may not have even heard this for years. This is from a bootleg, which is a little bit naughty, but this is you guys recording 7 and 7 is. Hang on a second. Let me just there we go.
Okay.
Oh no, hang on. It's all set up in a weird way. Hang on, let me just get it back to the beginning. Here we go. Let's have a listen to this.
Take 77.
That opening, the very beginning of that was fantastic.
And then it kind of falls apart, and it goes on. Take 81, take 85, take 89. How many takes of 7 and 7 is did you guys do?
Oh, gosh, we did probably close to 100. And the thing was, that's a very hard song to play, and it's a tiring song. And this was the problem. See, I'm playing with a vibrato. And Snoopy, the drummer, this is before there were click tracks. He had to keep his beat up with the vibrato on the guitar. And if he slowed, because the guitar is unwavering, it's always on the money. It's going to stay right on the beat. And if he slows down a bit, it's obvious. Now, if it weren't for that vibrato, we probably could have done it maybe in 50 takes rather than 100. But anyway, Snoopy was just getting tired. And each one of those, as I said, they were done live. So everything you hear us play, that's the way it was. And so there were no overdubs or anything added. This is just, a live group performing. And we had to keep going and going, and we were in arguments with Jack Holzman and Bruce Botnick because, I turned my guitar toward the wall so that it would bounce off the walls and it would leak into every mic. Now, that's a no-no. They don't want you to do that. They want to have everything pristine. Well, the song was just basically controlled chaos, and it needed to bounce off the walls in order to have that feeling. So we had to fight with them and fighting with Snoopy and each other, but we finally got it together, but it definitely took a while.
What's interesting is that you go from 7 and 7 Is, and very quickly you proceed or evolve to Forever Changes. You go from that hard kind of punk rock sound to, well, I don't even know how you describe Forever Changes, because it's unique.
Well, Forever Changes was something that we'd been working on for a long time. Even during the period of time when we were working on Da Capo, we were also working on Forever Changes, the songs for that. And we were having, problems again with our record company, and we didn't know for certain whether or not they were going to actually follow through, because they had told us this would be a double album set, and Brian and I had worked on material that would have filled one side of an album, and at the last minute they renege on their promises and tell us that because of cost considerations they'd have to do it later. And so we went into the studio angry with each other. Brian was boycotting, basically, and so we had a lot of inner turmoil, and probably, we were on the verge, basically, of saying to hell with and just walking out.
Yeah.
But we managed to pull ourselves together when it became obvious that Elektra was going to release something, and we didn't want our names on just anything on the piece of garbage. So we just got together and talked it out and went back into the studio, and that's what happened.
I love the story of how the name Forever Changes came about.
Well, yeah, Arthur had a girlfriend, and he was breaking up with her, and she said, well, you said you'd love me forever. And Arthur said, hey, forever changes.
It's such a wicked but such a great line. Well, it's a masterpiece, right? And in the last sort of 10 years or 10, 15 years, it's been recognised as the masterpiece that it is. Were you disappointed with the lack of sales that it had? Because it kind of, I think it got in the top 40 in the UK, but didn't even get in the top 100 in the States, did it?
Oh, no, it got to, I think, number 35.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
No, it got up, yeah, but it dropped off rather quickly.
Right.
The thing was, we had zero promotion. By then, the Doors had just exploded.
Yeah.
And so all of the money that would have gone to us was now being spent on the Doors. And so basically we had nothing but word-of-mouth promotion. And so I'm surprised that it did as well as it did, considering. But, we were disappointed because after hearing it, I especially thought, this is it. This is our magnum opus. This is going to take us to the next level. And when it didn't, everybody was just shocked, and disillusioned. And, we started picking at each other, and we were back at each other's throats again because we expected this to do something that it didn't do. So the failure of that album to do what it was supposed to do was probably one of the major reasons why we ended up going our separate ways. There were other reasons, but that was one of the main reasons.
Flash forward nearly, and I hate to do this to you, Johnny, flash forward nearly 50 years. 50 years,
kicking.
And you're coming over to the UK, and I'll read out some of the dates in a bit. You're coming over to the UK with Baby Lemonade. Anyone who knows the history of Love knows that was, well, they were kind of Arthur's backup band. They were Love for perhaps the longest than any other group, I think, that he worked with.
Oh, way longer than anybody. These guys since the 90s.
Yeah. And they're an amazing band, and they play the music like it's on the record, but they kick it up the backside, man. They really, really rock. You're doing a tour with them. How come? Why is that happening? 10 years since Arthur passed.
Well, that's what it is. We're kind of recognizing the 10th anniversary of Arthur's passing, but also the 50th anniversary of the first Love album, and us being called Love from, we were the Grassroots first, and then we became Love after initially wanting to kind of to fight it out in court, and we decided we'd just change our name rather than fight Lou Adler, who had kind of co-opted the name Grassroots from us. So anyway, this time would be the 50th anniversary of that. And so we decided that the UK is one of our favorite places to be. We just have wonderful, wonderful friends over there, and we thought this would be great. We're just going to get up and go over and play some music. And so we worked it out with promotion and bad paintings, and here we are.
Well, it's happening. I've seen you play with Arthur before, and I saw you in I saw you in Brighton, and it was just the joy. You really look like you're enjoying yourself, and it must be weird 50 years later, man, to still be playing those songs.
Yes, it is, but it is just a blast because besides the people that from back in the day that support us, and of course we have a whole new audience of younger people that come out to see us, and they know the songs. You can see them singing along with us, and they're every bit as enthused as the people were back when we started. So this is just a fantastic journey for us. It's to co-opt the phrase, it's been a long, strange trip, and now it's just,
It ain't finished yet, man. It ain't finished yet.
Oh, absolutely not. We're not finished. We're going to do this this year, and then next year we're going to do an extended tour of Europe, possibly Australia and the UK, and so it's going to be a much, much longer tour. So we're looking forward to that. And besides this time, I'll be playing at the London Music Festival. I believe, I won't say who I'm playing with. Let's just say I'll be playing with some astonishingly good musicians.
Give us, Johnny, come on, you've got to give us a hint. Who are you playing with?
Well, that's just a very, very well-known group of individuals who were influenced by love, and they've honored me with an invitation to stand up on stage and play with them.
Listen, some of the dates, it's June and July that you're over here with Love Revisited. If you want to see all the dates, I've just tweeted it. If you go to love-revisited.com, the first one I've got is Manchester on the 23rd of June. It goes to Liverpool, York, Norwich, London, Frome, Coventry, Southampton on the 2nd of July. I'm coming, sir. I hope I can get a photo with you if that's okay. And also Brighton. But yeah, I'm going to come to the Southampton one. Are you going to do any more recording, Johnny? Are there any kind of
we are.
Oh, go on. What's happening? Go on.
Yeah, we have it's entitled, this is a working title, it's Gethsemane. And these are songs that were meant to be on Forever Changes. Remember, I told you they kind of reneged on the promise. Anyway, there are these songs that were meant to be on that I'm working on completing, and so that's the next project.
And what state are they in? Are they kind of like demos and stuff that was recorded in the 60s, or are you doing it from scratch?
Well, they're completion of songs that we were working on in the 60s that never finished. Like, we had a whole list of songs that we were working on and just didn't have the time to finish them. So I'm finishing, like the songs on For Sale. Many of them were songs that the original Love worked on, and they wound up on that album. So we have a good catalog of material that was never released. So
have you got any idea when that's coming out? That sounds very, very sexy, sir.
Actually, I'm not certain, but hopefully in the very near future it'll be finished and ready for release.
Johnny, honestly, it's such a thrill to talk to you. I'm going to come and see you guys in Southampton. I'm so excited, and it's so good to hearing you sounding well and sounding healthy and sounding, full of love, man. So thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. It's my pleasure, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Johnny Eccles, what an absolute legend from the rock group Love. Honestly, you cannot spend a few quid any better than going and buying Forever Changes on CD. It is just an absolute joy. I've written an article about Love as well, which is hopefully going to be in a copy of Record Collector in the next couple of months or so. I've just tweeted at Iain Lee if you want to go and see the tour dates. It's also love-revisited.com. I'm going to be in Southampton because now I work weeknights. My gig access is limited, although I'm taking 2 dates off to go and see Mickey Dolenz at the Cavern and to go and see the Bare Naked Ladies at the Roundhouse. Backstage passes. Oh, yeah, sure. Backstage passes, me and the kids. Oh, yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. Have I been emailing Ed today? And he said he'll sort out backstage passes for me and the kids. That's fine. But very excited about seeing Love. That's it, guys. That's your lot. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Ed, as always. I should remind you, dear listener, we have a daily podcast. There are some naughty people out there who podcast the whole show. I mean, that is just outrageous behaviour. And we certainly cannot condone that in any way whatsoever. But I generally tell them off on Twitter, so keep following me on Twitter to find out who I'm telling off. But even if you do go and listen to that, please download the legitimate one. You can get it on iTunes, or you can get it from your usual podcast provider. It all kind of, helps in these early days. And if you want to send me an email, ian@ianlee.com. That's it. That's your lot. Back tomorrow at 10. Oh, it's Jim Dale tomorrow. Very exciting.
Talk Radio. 24-hour radio debate and entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.